This is not a mask. This is confidence.
It's for getting out and working anywhere other than home.
This is not a mask. This is solidarity.
It's for opening the door to a friend and keeping the doors open to your favorite places.
This is not a mask. This is a sign of love.
What is happening, good people? Welcome to Fridays for Fun, where you bring your own bone broth. Yeah, what's happening, good people? I hope you're hanging in there. I hope you're having a nice start, perhaps, to your weekend. Yeah, it's Friday. Eh? You gotta have a bit of fun in life. I hope you're not in Masculvania. I'm driving around seeing, I'm like trying to gauge how bad it is. in terms of the programming. It warms my heart when I see groups of young people together not complying, not social distancing, not wearing a mask, not doing the lockstep. And then it breaks my heart when I see it's always old women. I don't know. There seems to be a lot more old women than old men. I think men just die sooner, sort of thing. You just see old ladies all over the place hobbling around. I see people, I can't believe it. It's like you think they're going to die. It's like you want to run over and just rip the mask off and say, breathe. You're probably not going to live much longer. I mean, Sarah, you might actually die from wearing this. What's the point? Oh, it's so ridiculous. And here we are getting close. Well, I guess it's back to school for some of the kids. And wow, I mean, you got the sports full on doing their Babylon thing here. I'm going to make sure I'm coming in here first and foremost before I make foolish mistakes here. Here we go. Yeah, there we are. We're coming in nicely. Yeah, the NBA and the NFL or the NHL and all the teams doing the Black Lives Matter, doing the social justice stuff. I put up a video earlier tonight on that, and I really mean this, folks. We gotta get people to turn away from this stuff. I mean, you gotta do whatever you can. Just, I don't know, maybe go and smash televisions and stuff like that. Is there people that that couldn't live without television? Like, do you know, are the people in your family? I think with elderly people, I think a lot of them just, it's so normal just to put on a screen and turn off the brain sort of thing, right? It's like, you feel bad because if you ever go to like an old age home, that's kind of like what you have is lots of television screens, a lot of people just watching television. It's almost like you could say it's a slow death, but it's worse than that because you're not even living. It's like when you're watching that television, you're not really alive. It's like you're some sort of, hive-minded organism that is incapable of any sort of individual thoughts. And if you know people that are like that just can't live without their telly. You like to think if you smash their telly, maybe that would stop the spell. But they probably just find ways to get another one, right? Or, use whatever little money they might have to go and purchase another telly. And then you're like, oh, damn. I mean, that's the whole problem, right? I said it before, said a lot, is that if people didn't have the television, none of this would be happening. It's that simple. It wouldn't happen. Nothing would fly. Nobody would believe it. The emperor would have no clothes, which is true. The emperor has no clothes. That's the whole illusion, right? Everywhere I go, I feel like yelling at people, but not in a mean way. Like I don't want to be mean to people, even though I'm like thinking, God, these people are stupid. I want to just say, please take off your mask. There's no scamdemic. It's all bull crap. Yeah. Please stop doing this. Please stop with your programming. So anyways, as you see, we're here on Jeff Censored Live. I'm glad that you found your way here. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, please do subscribe. Make sure you sub my other channels too, because my main channel got hit, so I'm locked out for 2 weeks. A lot of channels have been going down, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm knocking on wood. I don't want to lose another channel, but it looks like they're just going to clear us all out. So if that does happen, it's probably down BitChute Avenue that you'll find me. I mean, the thing about BitChute, I guess that maybe is okay, is that a lot of people are making accounts there, so a lot of people are spending more time there, for better or for worse. So it's like, I guess it's one of the few alternatives that we have to do this and continue to get this type of work out. But I'll try to use YouTube as long as I can. D Live is another option. I have to, again, take into consideration that live shows get terminated or get erased from D Live after a day or two. I'm not really sure, unless you have some special status. So I'm gonna have to talk to Dabu or somebody and figure out how they're doing it. But anyways, thank you all so much for taking the time to be with me tonight. And yeah, we're not going to spend too much time looking at what's going on. I'm going to spend a lot more time with the audience. So if you do have questions or things that maybe you'd like us all to look at together, sort of thing, it's a good opportunity. And I got some news things coming. There's going to be a Patreon show next week. I'm not sure the day. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. We'll see. We're going to have a Patreon show. So all the good patrons that are signed on for $5 or more a month can come on the show and talk with me directly, and then meet the other people that we had the show last month. It was really great. We put it up on Jeff C Live, so you won't be able to see the show live unless you're a patron, and then it'll be uploaded for everyone after. So anyways, I'm really looking forward to that and connecting with all the good people that are around. There's so many good people. We have to remember there's lots more. I mean, there's just a lot of good people out there, right? And they want us to not believe in each other or support one another or believe that we have any chance of standing up to their machinations. And yeah, it gets worse every week. I mean, we have another shooting. And the only reason, look, why does a shooting get attention? Well, beast, that's all, right? You could say certain shootings deserve attention, but why should a shooting or a killing or something get more attention than another, right? And it's like, you could say even George Floyd. Yeah, that's pretty awful. And it's like, nothing makes sense about that. Like, nothing at all makes sense. I mean, who would do that for that long of time, and why, and then people point to the 846, and 846 is when the first plane hit the World Trade Center, sort of thing. So probably all very sophisticated sort of psyop that kicked it off. And I Can't Breathe goes back years. They've been using that slogan over and over and over again, even with Kobe Bryant, who sported the I Can't Breathe logos and shirts going back to like 2013, 16, I don't know, something like that. I think it's 2013 that he was doing the I Can't Breathe. So they recycle these things, they use them over and over again, and people are dumb, so people react emotionally to everything that they see, and this is how they're manipulating us, is through emotions. You see it every single day. You see even the Karen type stuff that they often manufacture. It's all emotional reactions that they capture on people. And so they're using the emotion of, traumatizing people. And it's like the black people now, minorities and black people are watching all these movies that, Black Panther and Get Out and, all these films that will reinforce the divide, push the games, everything, right? It's all woven into the beast system. It is the beast system. So if it comes from the beast, it's the beast, right? There's nothing good there. Like the sports too, I think people now, I mean, like, look, I grew up with the Montreal Canadiens, so I understand, like it's like growing up with the Red Sox or the New York Yankees or, the New England Patriots, right? And it becomes something that the community and people get into, and people, and it's like I knew people that played on the team and friends with sons that were, players on the team and stuff like that, and it becomes a fabric of the society in a sense, but it's been taken over by the beast. It's not what it used to be. Even it's never been perfect. There's never been an ideal sort of sports realm. But pro sports is legitimate cancer now because it's completely controlled by the beast. And so every single it doesn't matter if it's the UFC or it's the National Basketball Association or the National Hockey League or it's football league or whatever, right? It's all the same. It's all the same beast. It's all the same programming, right? Diversity, weakness is strength, LGBT becomes XYZ pride, BLM, social justice, just endless. Oh, and now the NBA is gonna get in and start setting up their arenas as voting stations. I mean, come on, seriously. And it's like I think I made a pretty good point in that video when I showed TSN, the Toronto Sports Network here in Rainbow Unicorn Land. And it's like every article on their front page is connected to BLM, right? It's like every article is like black people suffering, women suffering, white people bad, you know? And it's like, well, if you look at who's writing the articles and who runs TSN, and then it's the same beast, right? It's all the same. So your NBA is extremely evil. I'm sorry. I love basketball too. Like, I play basketball and I enjoy it, and it's a good sport. Anything that gets you moving and makes you feel good, that's good. But that's not what it is. People sitting in a stadium, you know, stuffing their faces with fake food and alcohol and whatnot, is not the same as playing the sport, just as sitting at home on your couch and watching the game, right? It's better if you're watching it with your friends, because then at least you're interacting with people. But then again, you know, you're still all watching the beast. You're still all playing the beast. And think of what you would be doing if you didn't have the beast there, right? It's like, think about think about, for instance, when you go for a dinner and people can't stop looking at their phone, right? You know how rude that is. Like, people should realize, don't do that at dinner. Put away your stupid toy and pay attention to what's going around, right? You're going to miss all these wonderful details. If you just walk around outside without any distractions, you know, you're going to capture all kinds of incredible things that are going on. You're going to see things that you would never see. I see people walking into freaking poles and trees, and, you know, if their manhole cover were left up here and there, people would be dying like pretty rapidly, sort of thing, because people are so programmed. They're so hooked up all the time. That's what they want us. You know, it's like the Matrix, but, you know, the cables are invisible, sort of thing, but they're there, and they're taking us all down this beast system. What's happening in the United States is very troubling, and they want to make this global, of course, and they're trying to push it into Europe and push it everywhere else. I mean, think about Europe now too. It's like, imagine pushing Black Lives Matter in places like Sweden or even in Great Britain. It's like, well, you just, you know, like if we were to take, you know, we could say in a sense, you know, it already happened, but not the same way with the colonialist, the British imperial sort of system, and the European imperial system, right, of the 19th century, for example, where, you know, Great Britain and France and Italy and all these countries would go in and take over portions of Africa. But it wasn't so much to set up their own sort of countries, more just to extract their resources to fuel their sort of, imperialistic sort of games. But you see, now you've got the reverse, and you've got all these migrants that coming from God knows where, a lot of the Muslim and stuff coming into these countries that used to be white, and the white people are all being told that they're bad endlessly, and all the leaders are being changed. You know, it's like Sadiq Khan is the mayor, you know, and they're all pushing the NWO. So all the puppets are being put in place, and it's like, you know, we're seeing just awful sort of hypocrisy and evil happening around the world. And people should, nobody, like, the one thing that's really important to point out, because our controllers want you to think that white people are bad, right? They want you to think that there's everybody else, and then there's white people. Like, there's something fundamentally wrong with white people, but everyone else, you know, and even then, of course, these people are the biggest hypocrites of all. But the thing is that people are people. So they're trying to tell you we're all the same, and yet white people have this inherent sort of horrible thing, and therefore we have to constantly remind the white people of their privilege and how bad they are, and we have to make everything diverse. We have to make every commercial interracial, you know, every couple. We have to, you know, endlessly do this stuff, and it's all just massive amounts of hypocrisy and just a real sort of full-on deconstruction of our way of life, sort of thing that's happening, and everyone is being affected by this. The BLM stuff is out of control, and it's because it's all financed. Again, none of it would be seen. Nobody would see anything. What would you see, right? What would you know? You would hear about stuff on you know, the tali or the radio. Somebody was shot last night, right? But now you see, they'll show you something, and if it fits the narrative, or if they've whipped it up and it fits the narrative, then they'll broadcast it everywhere, and everyone will emotionally react to it. And it's like, so a black guy gets shot in the back a few times, they say 7 times, whatever. You're like, I don't believe any of it, right? You can believe what you want to believe, but I know how these things work. And, the emotion is all, it's all emotional reaction. And it just fuels the fire, the embers and the flames that they've already got brewing, and it's just throwing more gasoline on. And they'll keep doing this. They'll keep doing this to all of us until we get rid of this system, this beast system, which it starts with turning your back on the television, smashing the television, canceling your cable, refusing. Imagine you didn't watch any of this stuff. You didn't read the New York Times. You didn't see the CBC. And then they try to tell you got to wear a mask. And it'd be like, yeah, F you. And wear a mask for what? What do you mean for what, right? That's what I had the other day. They were telling me, put on the mask. And I'm like, why? And they're like, what do you mean, why? And I say, like, why? What are you telling me this for? And it's like, oh, what, you don't know about the virus? And I go, no, tell me about it, right? I mean, I don't watch television. I don't see what you're seeing. So if none of us were watching television, none of this would happen. That tells you how powerful their mind control is. And it also tells you how easy it would be to stop it. If we could somehow stop the signal, a la They Live, just shut it down, right? And stop people. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts to get along. All of a sudden, instead of people being at each other's throats, we just all sort of, hey, you know what? Isn't it nice without this beast around? Isn't it nice without all the distractions and all the fake news and the constant sort of orange man bad and all the theatrics that you see every single day? That's what I try to warn people about, is the emotional sort of mind control that is being used. And, Twitter is shitter. That's what it is, right? The Instagram, it's crack cocaine for, narcissism and all these social media platforms. Facebook itself was developed by DARPA. I mean, they're designed to addict you. They know that you've got mail. They know that your endorphins will go off when you get clicks and when you see people liking your stuff. They know exactly how it works. They use the exact same system in the video games and the movies and everything else. And so they have fabricated an entire system in order to mind control us. This is prior to all of us being actually mind controlled, like via sort of computer chips and stuff like that, right? They want to get it down so that part is just elementary, right? That we won't even be able to say anything when it's like, okay, it's time for your brain chip. They're already talking about it, and we've talked about it the other day when I did the show Jeff C. Live with Camille, about how they want to give out morality pills to people. Like they want to drug the population. They're talking about this as a solution. They're saying for COVID-19, it's a solution because there's too many people that just don't do what they're told. That's basically what it is. It's like, all the people that do the lockstep and that actually, become the brown shirts, which is what they're doing, eh? Snitches get rewards type of thing. The brown shirts of this frickin' scamdemic. You are all frickin' terrible people. Like, you are incredibly terrible people. You're the same people in Khmer Rouge. You're the exact same people in the Bolshevik Revolution. There's no difference. You're incapable of critical thought. You're incapable of thought, period. You're just stupid lemmings that do exactly what you're told. And then you can't stand it when somebody else is not doing what they're told. This appeal to authority is so awful and evil. And it's so disingenuous. It's just like what's happening with YouTube and all the censorship everywhere, right? All the censorship. Oh, doctors are being censored left, right, and center, right? Like all over the place. Nurses, health officials from other parts of the world. Anybody that contests anything dealing with the WHO. It's not just us conspiracy theorists, right? Everything's being censored. No, there's only one truth. This is the almighty truth. It comes from the WHO. And it's like, look who runs the who. Look at who are these people, right? And look at what organization they're part of. And it's just, it's so unbelievable. So what's happening is, just the attacks on freedom of speech are so disturbing. And this is something that everyone should be very concerned about, because once your freedom of speech is gone, that's it. You're not going to be able to stand up and say anything. And that's what they want to do. They want to scare us all into thinking that we can't stand up to it. They're using the majority to target the minorities. They're using, they're so hypocritical. They're the worst hypocrites of all time. They really are. It's like vulnerability is strength. War is peace, all the things that they say. What was the other one that they said the other day? Oh yeah, the protests are fiery but peaceful. Staying apart keeps us together. I mean, what? Take your freaking bullcrap and shove it. It's doublespeak. It's all doublespeak, and that's what they specialize in. And it's time for people to say enough. It's time for people to say no. Do not comply. They have no right to do any of this to us. Look what's happening in Melbourne, right? If people actually stood up to this stuff, it wouldn't happen. But because people watch their telly, that's where we are. Anyways, thank you all so much for coming by. And we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna have some bone broth going too at some point. I just got some ice water here for now. And are you it's almost September here. Has it cooled down? It cooled down a lot here on the East Coast. It's quite nice, actually. It's kind of sad though, because it's like summer's over. But it's cooled down, so it's nice, in the day, especially like doing physical work, and it's nice to get outside, but it's also nice to sleep at night, sort of thing. So at least we have the weather. It's amazing though. You get out in nature, it's like you're out in nature, and all this crap that's going on, none of it matters, right? You're out in nature, all the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, everything is just beautiful. And then you step into Masculvania. People are unbelievable. I mean, it's out of this world what they're doing to living people. Imagine we did this to one species on the planet. Imagine we said, what if, even dogs, right? Like, how do you feel when you see a dog's muzzled? Like, it makes me feel bad, because like a dog, the mouth is not just the mouth, it's also the hand, right? Like, it's like a super hand sort of thing. Like and the mouse, it's not just the mouth, it's also the nose. Of course, the nose being their most powerful sort of sensor. So everything for a dog is based on them being able to use their nose and their mouth, and smell and taste and touch and put their nose everywhere. That's how they that's how they exist. Look at pigs. Their noses are specifically designed for that, to sniff everything. And you think, about us, and it's like, imagine we did this to pigs, or imagine we did this to dogs, where we said from now on, every dog must be muzzled all the time. I mean, like, how evil would that be? How awful would it be for the dogs? And yet here we are doing it to our own effing children. I mean, it's out of this world. It's just out of this world. This tyranny, this disgusting, putrid, vile, evil attack on humanity that's happening. And those who lockstep are the brown shirts. They may think that they're it's like the anti-fascists. They are the fascists. The anti-fascists are the fascists. They are the communists. Right? They are the Bolsheviks. They are exactly who they would probably claim to be against, sort of thing. When they say they're against supremacy and stuff like that. Where are the supremacists? Like, show me where they are. Find me white supremacists, right? Where do they exist? I don't see any anywhere. I'd never see any. I don't know if I've ever seen a white supremacist in my life. I've seen some stupid ass skinheads that would, have that type of, maybe that type of look about them. But I mean, really? Stupid skinheads are somehow gonna come up and take over society and threaten and and even if they did, well, they would have to do it through the democratic sort of system, which of course is all bull crap anyways. So anyways, we're gonna get into it now. Let's take a look at a few of the things that I want to share with y'all and see if there's anything. We're gonna get in a second here to the chat itself. I gotta flip around here and share my screen. So, and let's see here. Where's my window capture? Do you like Trump and drag? I wouldn't be surprised, eh? This is what he does at night. I don't know. Anyways, here we go. Okay, so yeah, we got Black Lives Matter coming to Japan. I kind of touched on this a little bit before. Black Lives Matter pushes Japan to confront racism. It's like, what? I wish Japan would just declare war on Black Lives Matter. I mean, just stay the F out of Japan, right? I mean, like, come on, seriously. At least in Japan, although it's got the worst birth rate in the world, at least the people are the people, right? I mean, aside from Corbett and a few other sparsely, whites and blacks and whoever might be there, other peoples, it's mostly Japanese, right? It's like, wow, how come they got to keep their culture, Oh, no, not anymore. Now Black Lives Matter is pushing them to confront racism. And, oh, man. And then you got, I was kidnapped here for 9 hours. Kidnapped for 9 hours. The sports here, Cape Breton Post here, Cape Breton Eagles, QMJHL, pledged to support Black Lives Matter. So the Q here is the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. And it's like, what? Why? What? And I played in the big leagues here, and I'll tell you something, man. Like, as a anglophone sort of thing here in Quebec, we go into these smaller sort of, outside of Montreal communities, and I mean, they would throw things at you. There'd be like fist fights. It would be crazy, but boy, oh boy, was it ever fun, because you get in that tribal sort of, feeling. So, I could say, hey, I suffered a lot of racism because of French Canadians, but not really. I mean, it's just people are tribal. It's the way they are sort of thing. It's, most people are people. And if we just let them be good and be themselves, they're probably not nearly as bad as you think they are, nearly as spooky as you think they are, regardless of their color sort of thing. But the beast will beast. The beast will do what it does. Here you got The Guardian. I was kidnapped again, that one. Black lives don't matter to Black Lives Matter, says Rudy Giuliani. So you got Rudy Giuliani here playing his role. Coming out. Blake shooting adds fresh urgencies to Black Lives Matter march in Washington. So you just see that every subsequent sort of shooting or event that happens, that they can throw another log on the fire there, the burning cauldron that they've created. And it's all the big corporations, it's all the big banks, it's all the Bilderberg Group, basically, that are pushing the whole thing. So that includes the professional sports leagues. And, of course, pro sports is cancer. So please do not support pro sports. Please do not ever purchase anything. Give them none of your money, and take that time. That's a gift. There you go. If you didn't have it before, because people say, I don't have much time. Well, if you stop watching your mind control, you'll have at least a few more hours a week. I mean, a football game's like once a week, 3 hours or whatever, maybe a whole afternoon. A hockey game's like 3 times a week. A baseball game's like 6 days a week or something like that. I mean, if you cut that stuff out and you stop supporting these scumbags, you'll find so much more things to do with your life, and you can, all of a sudden, maybe some of those hobbies that you were afraid to take up, or you felt you didn't have time, maybe you could start doing them. Maybe you want to take up some carpentry or archery, or I don't know, lawn bowling. Maybe go out and play some sports yourself. Go with your buddies and play some touch football or flag football or something like that. Unless you're younger, and then maybe you can do the contact thing. Contact tracer, I do it. But, I mean, there's so many things. Art, music, maybe you want to pick up an instrument you never learned. Now you can do this, and all these things, there's no negatives to them. There's no negatives to like going out in nature. There's no negatives to going hiking, or rock climbing or swimming or, like anything that you could do aside from that. Like if you say, yeah, but Jeff, there's positives and no, there's no positives. Pro sports is cancer. All right. There's no positives in pro sports. There's nothing good about it. Well, so what? So what? How many other things could excite you in life other than, people dribbling a ball or kicking a soccer ball or a puck around? I mean, how many other things can enrich your life as opposed to that? Think of all the other things that you're depriving yourself of by watching their beast system. And the same goes with the movies and the games and everything else. It's like if you just start cutting this stuff out. Now, I do talk about this. People know this. I don't even remember the last time I had cable. Like I can't even recall. Back when I had, living with a girl that loved television sort of thing. That's like the last time I had freaking cable, and I never watched it sort of thing. And I don't have a television. I've got a computer. If I want to watch something, I'll just watch it off, stream it sort of thing. But I mean, just don't give them anything. Give them nothing. Make them suffer. I don't want to see all the good people that are going to lose because of these leagues. All right. If they were to collapse sort of thing, like the seat ushers and the freaking ticket people and everyone that's in between. But these systems need to fall. The pro sports needs to fall. The beast needs to fall. We need to stop supporting. Hollywood needs to burn to the ground. Like, no joke, right? It's Hollywood anyway. Stop going back to your abusers. Stop the Stockholm syndrome, right? Like, just stop the cycle of abuse that you're subjecting yourself to. We talked about this so many times. Just do a whole podcast on Supreme Lord Commander on things like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. We talk about that these shows are designed to psychologically F you up. Black Mirror as well. Like, people will watch this stuff and they don't even understand how they're designed to invade your frickin', to haunt your dreams. They're there to program you and suggest all these things and tap into your subconscious and probe into your fears and your insecurities. They're not there to make you better people. All these things are designed to push their agendas and destroy, dehumanize us, basically, which is what they're doing. They're dehumanizing, right? They want to get rid of the old humans. They want to bring in their Baphomet sort of, transhumanist, multi-sexed creations, right? Where they're going. Anyways, Black Lives Matter activists hold first ever Black National Convention. NHL's lack of solidarity with Black Lives Matter protest out of touch, says critics. I mean, just forget about it. Why this Canadian team spends hours every week holding up Black Lives Matter sign. I'll open that one for a second here. It spends hours. Look at this. Look at Serena Jenna. I don't know. I guess she wants to be the next Greta. Why, where is this happening anyways? This looks like it's like Whitehorse or something. Yellowknife. I was close. So Yellowknife is in the Northwest Territories up here in Rainbow Unicorn Land. So, I mean, like, you don't have too many months to be outside because of the cold, long winters and, how harsh it can be. And here she, you better wake your ass up. Yeah, she is holding this BLM sign. I would just get out and maybe have a conversation with her. And then, I'd try to be friendly with these people. I wouldn't go and engage them. But the best thing that can happen, by far, would be a black person to come up and give her a talking, That would be incredible. That's when it really works, because when a black person comes up and says, Black Lives Matter is bullcrap, then the message, because what are they going to say, right? They're going to be like, screw you. Well, they try to say things, right? Like, you're not really black. How can you be black? How can you be against it? It's like, well, yeah, I don't like globalist scumbags, destroying everybody and pitting everybody against each other. But she hunkers down here. She hunkers down for several hours at a street corner in downtown Yellowknife. Drivers blow their horns as they pass. Is there any black people in Yellowknife? Like, maybe, I don't know. There's probably a few thousand people there, but I mean, seriously? I mean, there'd be a lot of native people. But I mean, is there really any black people there? And what would be the racism there? I mean, seriously? You're in frickin' Yellowknife. I mean... It's so dumb. Drivers blow their horns as they pass. Others walk by, barely noticing her. On her lap is a large cardboard sign, and it reads BLM in large. Yeah, burning, looting, and murder. Yeah, burning, looting, murder. Burning, looting. And look at this. Brings the things you love. So I guess this looks like it's a hospital. You see this awful looking building here, right? So bring the things you love. Maybe they're saying keeping together or keeping apart, or staying apart keeps us together. Staying apart keeps us together with BLM, with a white chick here with a BLM sign in a town where there's probably, I don't want to, and I'm not trying to insult any black people that might be there, but there's probably not even black people there. Probably not. So, I mean, it just goes to show you how insane that is. What does it say? I know, or here's the quote that they say here. I'm going to make this bigger here. I know, get away. I know sitting here, some people are going to say, oh, that's such a brave thing to do, said Jenna about being why is it brave? You're standing there like a retard. Don't do that, she said. It's about Jacob Blake. It's about George Floyd, Elijah McClain, Breonna Taylor, and every single person who has faced discrimination. No, it's because of Bill Gates. It's because of Henry Kissinger. It's because of Jeffrey Bezos. It's because of Elon Musk. I mean, it's because of all the globalist scumbags that have programmed you and that are financing these operations. Because of Amazon. It's because of Disney, right? It's because of the New York Times. It's because of Joe Rogan. That's what it's because. It's because of all of that. Because you don't even know your ass from your elbow. And you're here and you think somehow that message. What are you trying to achieve in frickin' Yellowknife? Show me where the racism is in Yellowknife. Show me where the white privilege is in Yellowknife. Just show me. Right? Seriously. Jenna identifies as queer. Oh, yeah, of course. Says she's known about racism for a long time after learning about slavery and Did you learn about the Holocaust? Are you getting the mandatory Holocaust classes? You know what? I think maybe just high school should be Holocaust school. And it should just be all day learning about the Holocaust. I can't hide the fact that I'm queer. What do you mean you can't hide the fact? Sure you can. Nobody's going to know. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. 0 people care. There's not one person in the world that cares what your section. There's nobody in the history of the world that actually came and said, what is her sexuality? You know what? I bet she's queer. And thought of it negative. Nobody cares. I'm guarantee you, Jenna, nobody gives one shit what you're saying. I certainly don't. I don't give a damn, but I'm not surprised. But I mean, at the same time, who cares? Who's judging you? It's all it's your programming, right? You believe that you're a victim or that you have to be an ally of other victims because of your mind control. For people who can't hide who they are, it must be so much. What do you mean can't hide? Who's hiding? Why are you hiding? Look at the drag people are reading to freaking toddlers. Who's hiding? It's 2020. The beast is everywhere. Nobody's hiding. You know who's hiding? Straight white people. That's who's hiding because they're the Antichrist to everyone else or everyone that's under this mind control. The teen says the teen says she learned about the death of George Floyd, Elijah McClain, Breonna Taylor in the media. Well, there you go. So there you learned everything from the beast. And somehow you think, well, I don't know, you don't think. Forget about it. There's no thinking here. This is just another black man. Jacob Blake was shot and injured. Well, what do you know about the story? Why don't you wait until there's a frickin' investigation? How do you know they didn't script it and use blanks and, use it just to frickin' do the whole scam thing that they're doing to all of us? But of course, you don't know anything. So TV showcases systemic racism, but what spurred Jenna to take action herself was an episode of Umbrella Academy. There you go. There, it's your horrible Netflix mind control that is twisting your brain and twisting your sexuality and twisting your orientation, twisting your direction in life. Where you could be a happy who is miserable when you're this age? Why would you want to be miserable? Why not just be enjoying life? Why not just be enjoying? Oh, I'm young. I'm healthy. I'm not in Toronto, Stan. I'm not in a mega awful city that is a giant concrete jungle. I've got wildlife all around me. But no, I'm gonna stand in front of my staying apart keeps us together hospital and use my Netflix programming to hold up this stupid ass sign, and somehow I think I'm making a difference. And I'm gonna lament that people are judging me for my sexuality when nobody gives a flying fuck. A black character who was trapped in the early 1960s experienced acts of racism while sitting in whites-only cafe, she said. I started crying. Adding that she was finally realizing, well, there you go. You got it from your mind control. You didn't really experience it. Netflix did it to you. So they could have done that about anything. It's unbelievable. She delved into the history of Black Lives Matter. She said she was 7 when it started. How come nobody told me this? Well, what do you mean nobody told you this? The Beast just told you it all. Now she wants to inspire others to learn more. To learn by watching what? The Umbrella Academy? You're watching your mind control from your mind controllers, and somehow you think that you're learning something. I do hope everybody does a little bit. Hopefully the world will change. It's not just a trend, she said, referring to how some people post about it on social media. They could put a hashtag on BLM on a few posts, and then it's like, okay, I'm not racist. It's fine. Moving on. But people are literally dying because of this. What do you mean? Who's dying? You know who's dying? Innocent people are dying. Innocent people who's getting their businesses burned and stuff like that. Who's dying because of what? Show me somebody that's died because of something. Show me, right? Even if George Floyd, even if that thing is legit, that's one asshole cop, right? Who's a psycho. What does he have to do with the price of chicken feathers in Australia? What does he have to do with me or anybody else out there? He has zero to do. He doesn't represent us. Newsflash, psychos like being cops. There's a lot of psycho cops out there, and they don't give a damn about what color you are, right? And I've dealt with it myself. I said, what happened to Rayshard Brooks there, for instance? If I had done that, I'm telling you, I've been in that situation enough times. I hate to say that, but, I was in a lot of rough things when I was a teen growing up, sort of thing, right? And there's no way I wouldn't expect to get shot if I had done what Rayshard Brooks did. So, seriously, is it because of his skin color, or is it more because people are doing really stupid things and cops kind of suck by and large as human beings? It's not good to put why isn't it just, let's not be stupid when cops are pointing guns at us. Where does the common sense go? You know what? A cop is pointing his gun at me, telling me to get down on the ground. You know what? Instead, I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to walk around the car, open the door, reach into the glove compartment, and you know what? He's probably going to shoot me in the back, but that's okay because Black Lives Matter. I mean, maybe, and this is the case, okay, George Floyd, you'd say that's just demonic, right? However they did it, it's demonic, right? The whole thing is just awful and whatever, but I still hold that somehow they manufactured that. Somehow it's something, it's a Hollywood production. It's just a really good one, sort of thing. But anyways, I can't prove that, right? But what I'm saying is this, is that a lot of these cases, a lot of these characters, And a lot of these shootings, too, before, I covered a number of these shootings before with these names, including people like Tamir Rice and stuff like that, going back, right? A lot of these shootings were completely staged. So when you're ringing out the names, what do they do with the shootings? You know the shootings, right? You know there's shootings that happen, you never hear about them. In Chicago, gangland shootings that happen they happen every day. Toronto, right? Washington, D.C., New Orleans. These cities have gang shootings all the time, right? You never hear about them. You never hear about the victims. You never see their tearless, family, talking about AR-15s and gun control and Black Lives Matter. You never see any of that. Only shootings you hear about are all the ones that they manufactured, right? So they manufacture these, and then they list them off every time there's a shooting. How many more? How many more of these are going to have? I don't know, Hollywood. How many more are you going to whip up, right? And then they'll name them off. Fort Hood, Handy Sook, right? Aurora, right? Columbine. They'll list them off one after another, after another, after another. And these are all the ones that they've manufactured. This is how the New World Order works. This is how they build their narratives and build their or push people into, being the objects of their destruction, because that's what they're doing. Jenna starts grade 10 next week. It's part-time during COVID-19 pandemic, so she hopes she can keep up her weekly. What a waste. What a waste of time. What an incredible waste. You're a young person. There's so many things you could be doing with your life. So many things. You could be enjoying life. You could be out in the woods. You could be rock climbing. You could be skydiving, hang gliding, water skiing. You could be fishing. You could be at the library reading something. But instead, you're standing, or you're sitting. You're not even standing. You're sitting in a chair with a stupid ass sign. And it goes to show you, and again, YouTube community, all right, cut the crap, all right? I'm not here to make fun of this particular person. This is a media article. For all we know, this is totally staged, right? But the moral of the story is, this is the Greta Extinction Rebellion mentality. That they've all been convinced that they're victims, and they've all been convinced that the old world needs to collapse and that they need this new world order to come in. That's what they've been convinced. Oh, man. Anyways, I got the song here. A lot of people been talking about this. It's funny, I haven't even made a video about this. I guess I kind of figured YouTube would just take it down right away or whatever. But you got these Pacific Unite, Saving Lives Together, concert to unite Pacific region in the fight against COVID-19. And what do we got? We got a bunch of Polynesians who are singing about what? Well, it's about the New World Order. I'm going to see here if I can settings. I'll slow it down just a little so maybe it won't be picked up here. Let's see. We'll put it at 75 here and we'll listen in. So a new world order. Look at these people. These people. What are you talking about? You guys have all the privilege in the world. You guys live in paradise. Come and live in Montreal, Stan. Yeah, come and live and shovel snowbanks for 6 months out of the year and tell me about white privilege, right? I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to live in frickin' paradise? In frickin' Polynesia? I mean, what are you talking about? I don't know. It looks like a Polynesian clone of Ryan Dawson. Got the Ryan Dawson dude going. All right. Yeah. What's up with the way this guy's standing too here, Ryan Dawson here? Look at the way he's kinda, it's like he's being held up by a pole or something. He's hung out to dry. Oh man. Yeah. This guy's wearing a dress. Oh, it's too much, man. And I'm sure people are spotting the black and white symbolism to go with it. It's just so ridiculous. It's such garbage. It's such garbage. All these people too. I mean, if you're Polynesian, you should be proud, and you should be like, you know what? Let's just go backwards. Let's get rid of the McDonald's. Let's get rid of the Coca-Cola. Let's stop eating the sugar donuts. Let's get rid of the taco hell. Let's get back in shape, right? Let's stop being huge blimps and claiming victim status. You guys live in paradise. Like, you literally live in paradise. You should be happy. I'd be happy every stinking day. I'd be like, wow. I mean, honestly, if you live on these islands, all you got to do is, like, destroy the television, right? And it's over with, right? You can start getting rid of stuff. Okay, we'll get rid of Coca-Cola. We'll get rid of McDonald's. We'll get rid of all this crap. No more Frito-Lay. None of this crap. And we'll start eating good food. And then you'd have it made in the shade, right? You'd be in such good shape. But instead, you want a new world order. I mean, like, why? Oh, it's just sad. Oh man. Yeah. I like that look she gave him. Like, I don't know about this creepy guy next to me. Let's see if I can just catch that again there. A new world order behind closed doors. I should put the caption on, really. Oh! And it's so disingenuous. These people aren't singing. This isn't like a live recording. It's something somebody did in a studio. It sounds like dog poop. All right, it sounds awful. And I know I've got it slowed down to 75%, but I mean, it's just sad. This is just a sad thing. Pacific Unite. Oh, man. Oh. And it doesn't sound anything like the music that would actually come from Pacific Islands. What's the point of sounding like We Are the World? I mean, it's not even remotely Polynesian. That drives me nuts too. It's like I love international music. When I go to like Brazil, I want to hear, I want to hear bossa nova, right? When I go to Cuba, I want to hear mambo. I don't want to hear frickin' the Disney soundtrack from Elsa, sing with Polynesian sort of voices. I mean, it's just such garbage. It's so disingenuous. It's like, well, why would you want this crap? Why would you want any of this crap? If I lived out in these islands, I would cut everything off. I would go full isolationist. I'd be like, no more of this shit. I'd close the ports. I'd ban, or I'd make a new internet, right? Without any beast programming, no porn or any of this crap. And I would ban all the fast food and all the junk food, and I would start growing real good food, for these people. A new world will rise again, of course, since they're Phoenix, their new world order, of course. These people wouldn't know. They're just idiots. Probably just actors. They probably didn't even sing these parts. They probably have real singers come in and fill in the parts, and then they just get these dimwits to act it out, sort of thing. I think they've got one white girl back here. She's next to the creepy black guy. There he is, isn't it? Yeah. Whoa. Oh, man, just put it out of its misery. I just like to pull out a shotgun and kill this song. Just kill it. All right, that's it. We took care of it. We buried that sucker. I mean, just think of this. It is the United Nations, of course. It's the United Nations. Hey, Jeff, the stupid people think United Nations want a new world order. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. The conspiracy theorists. We are closing all borders. A new world order behind closed borders. It's the lyrics. It's the United Nations. They have a website called the New World Order. Newsflash. They're coming out and they're showing you everything. So, if you've got people that think that the New World Order is a joke or a stupid conspiracy, it is a conspiracy and it's happening. And the more people turn a blind eye to it or laugh it off, the more it's going to manifest. And then faster than these people know. And then they will, I guess I was wrong. Oh, well, you got the ankle lock bracelet on and you're in the frickin', you're in the concentration camp. And then maybe you'll start, you know what? It's okay, guys. They're all going to give us showers soon. When are people going to wake up? I don't know. Too late, I guess. So, and then you got the fundraiser here for Jacob Blake here. $2 million. Damn. And there he is. And the kid here, I guess you could say, making the V or whatever. You got another kid with a skull. And you got somebody and he's in combat gear, whatever. And an 8-ball symbolism. Maybe it's just a photo. Maybe he really died. I don't know. I don't believe anything off the Beast Media. Zilch. Zero. I'm sure if I was to analyze and scrutinize every detail, I'd probably find that it's totally staged. Would be my belief. Yeah. So I'm not going to waste my time because I can't anyways. They don't let me do that stuff. You know that. There she is. Still out there. Hey, anybody got some rotten vegetables? Let's go for a drive. All right. Where were we? Don't argue with anti-maskers, CDC warns here. So, Jasmine Goodwin here. So what do they say? The recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to retail service employees. This week, the health agency issued new guidance to limit workplace violence that could be aimed at workers when enforcing their company's COVID-19 safety procedures. The procedures that retail and service businesses have been advised to implement under CDC guidelines include enforcing mask wearing, social distancing, and limiting the number of customers allowed in a business at one time. But the CDC warns that workers could be threatened or assaulted for employing these safety measures, describing violence ranging from yelling and swearing to slapping and choking employees. The CDC has outlined a number of steps businesses can take, which include conflict resolution training. Conflict resolution. All right, kids, we're going to do conflict resolution training today. You're working at Walmart. We got to learn the conflict resolution training. Installing security systems and identifying designated safe areas in stores employees can go if they feel they're a teacher. What about the people that refuse to wear the mask that get attacked by the mastards? Where can they go? Where's their safe space? We don't get a safe space, right? That's okay. I don't want a effing safe space. Take your safe space and shove it, right? You know, they say dangerous freedom and stuff like that, but you know, like it's part of being alive. Part of being alive is feeling alive, right? You know, you see those Russian kids that go up on those skyscrapers. I actually kind of get queasy just watching them because they do them now in like 4K and stuff, and they're up on these construction cranes and they're thousands of feet up in the air and they're they're doing handstands and stuff like that. Why do you think they do that? They could die at any second. Why are they doing that? Well, because they like to feel alive. It feels good to feel alive. And having safe spaces means not being alive, because then you're never, ever, you're always, what? Right? You got to be in your safe space, right? Like, it's like, why? You got to be shielded from everything. Well, then you're a marshmallow. That's what they want you to be, is a marshmallow. They want you nice and fat and soft and gooey and sensitive and hooked up to your television and chanting all their slogans and everything else. One of the agency's biggest suggestions: don't argue with a customer if they make threats or become violent. Don't argue with a customer, period. Mind your own F and P's and Q's. Like, seriously. If you want to believe your television, that's your problem. If you want to be a retard and you want to believe what's on your mind control, that's your problem. Don't expect other people to be as stupid as you. That's all I can say to all the mastards out there. You people, I don't blame the people that just comply because they're just been programmed into that stuff. But the ones that become belligerent, the ones that go after people, you people are the biggest scumbags. You're the brown shirts. That's exactly who you are. You're the people. You're the types that would be used in Khmer Rouge and in Stalinist Russia and whatnot to stab people in the back. That's what you people, that's what you are. Like, this reveals who those people are. Because I don't go around, like, I'll go around and I'll flaunt the rules. I purposely, folks, every store I go to, I look to see what the direction is on the arrows, and I make sure that I go the opposite direction, and I beg for people to call me out. I beg for it because I want it. I live for that stuff because, you know what? I don't like safe spaces. I like to have fun, and I like to have things happen because things happening is life. Feeling good, feeling energy, feeling adrenaline. That's life. Sitting in your safe space, you know, in your marshmallow chair, that's not life. That's death. And it's not even, it's like a slow, awful death. That's what these people are. They're the walking dead. That's what you are. If you're just a mastard, well, you're just an idiot, right? But if you are a belligerent, or if you're one of these snitches get rewards type brown shirters, you're a scumbag. And we see now who those people are. We see clearly how this stuff happens throughout history over and over again, where these tyrants and these dictators take control, and the people that all go in the lockstep, the people that are willing to sell their brothers, right, to snitch on their own kind, their own people, their own families. You see this. And you see it manifest. So never forget who these people are. Never forget who they are, because you're going to need to know who they are when things get worse. You're going to need to know that's a bad person. That's somebody that not only buys into their mind control, but actually, enforces it. They become goons. The guidance follows a number of violent incidents that have occurred at businesses across. Yeah, and most of those are against people that refuse to wear the mask. Earlier this month, a man in Pennsylvania was charged with shooting an employee. Oh, yeah, that's probably total garbage. Last month, Walmart, Home Depot, CVS, and other major stores announced that they would still serve customers who refused to wear masks. Walmart provided its ambassadors and management with talking points for handling incidents with anti-maskers. You see what they're calling? Anti-maskers. Maybe we should take a look for that. Let's just see what comes up. Hey, Google Borg. Anti-maskers. Oh, there you go. Anti-maskers Melbourne. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Anti-maskers Florida. Anti-maskers meme. Anti-maskers Reddit. Anti-maskers protest Melbourne. Anti-maskers UK. Shout out again to Germany. I want to say Germany, because I got friends in Germany listening to the show, and they've been doing lots of protests. They had a protest where they had over 1 million people. It was like 1.7 million. They said 17K. Right? They're lying about the resistance. They're lying about the numbers. They're lying about the people that are standing up to this. And be careful not to be co-opted if you go into these anti-mask, because that's what they try to do. But nonetheless, anti-maskers here. And don't argue with anti-maskers. Coronavirus, why are Americans so angry about masks? There you go. BBC. Why should it be Americans? What, you think Americans are the only people that like freedom? I mean, that's the way they want you to think, right? Freedom's a problem. Like the beast wants you to think, oh no, freedom's actually bad for people because, the economists now, you need the big government. You need the big government with the leash on the person walking his dog sort of thing. Anti-maskers are posting selfies wearing useless netted mask, Business Insider. That's from a month ago. I kind of want to see that, though. The new symbol of tyranny. Yeah, do it now. Yeah, do it now. No thanks. All right, let's just get rid of the ad block here for a second. And we're going to go to the Business Insider. Yep, I approve of that message. And do we have any other ones? Because, yeah, here's another one. Oh, yeah, good for you. There's Rancid Abe Butar. Rancid Butter. Here. It's unethical and unconstitutional to enforce on healthy citizens. I agree with him on that, though. I do agree with him. He's still a shell, though. Smartass, so I wear it, just not correctly. I keep it over my mouth, not my nose. And what I do is I wear I have a bandana. That's my thing, right? And I just as soon as I get in the door and as soon as I'm in, I just pull it down and it's hanging by my chin, sort of thing. And then I'm like, come on, let's hear you. Come on, who's gonna say something? Come on, who's gonna say it? Come on, somebody's gonna say something. So, sir. Excuse me, sir. Yes. Can I help you, sir? Can you please fix your yes, what are you trying to say? Maybe if you took down your face covering there, I'd be able to understand you better. I try to have fun with it. Anyways, there's not too much that they're showing here. All right, we'll move on from that. Yeah, here's the Americans here. Interesting. It looks like it's a black man here with a Trump 2020. And in the midst of the pandemic, a small piece of cloth. Look at it. Look at the way that they frame this. A small piece of cloth has incited a nationwide feud over public health, civil liberties, and personal information. As it should. Any infringement on your liberties, should be challenged. Absolutely. Any infringement, anything that the government makes you do, no! It should be the first reaction. No. You do not have the right. We did not vote in tyranny. We did not elect people to be dictators. We did not install a New World Order government. So if you are a New World Order government, you are illegitimate and you are against the American Constitution, and that's the end. It's over. So if you're actually traitors, then you need to be rooted out and dealt with appropriately. Otherwise, shut the F up, because you have no right to do this to any of us. And that should be the reaction of every single human being on the planet. Every single human being should stand up to this. So they say here, some Americans refuse to wear facial covering out of principles. Yeah, and some people just don't like being muzzled. Others in this country are enraged by the way that people flout the mask mandates. Bob Palmgren here tried to be polite at first. He told the customer he had to wear a mask inside his restaurant, RJ's Barbecue Shack in Mission, Kansas. The customer, a man, like, why are you wearing it? You're in a restaurant. You're going to eat your freaking barbecue with a mask on? The customer, a man in his 40s, to make America great again. A MAGA hat, of course, had flashed a gun and said that he was exempt. I don't clap him for flashing the gun, but I clap him for saying that he's exempt. He said that he could explain the exemption in law to Mr. Palmgren. Mr. Palmgren, a former Marine, told the customer that he was not interested in continuing the conversation. Mr. Palmgren was not swayed by the customer's gun either. Coronavirus doesn't care if you carry a gun or not. Coronavirus doesn't give a crap because it's garbage. Mr. Palmgren, the coronavirus doesn't care if you have a gun. Well, maybe you should, since you're the one that's trying to prohibit me from frickin' being here. Mr. Palmgren describing his conversation with the customer. I said, now get the hell out of here. All right, Dirty Harry. The argument in the restaurant reflected a deep divide over requirements to wear a mask in this county. People in Kansas, along with those who live in more than half of the country, are now required to wear a mask in public as part of an ongoing effort to slow down the spread of the COVID. But some people have been fighting against the mandate. Gee, just terrible people. The wearing of masks could become a catalyst for political conflict, an arena where scientific evidence is often viewed through the partisan lens. Most Democrats support wearing the mask. Of course, you got to be a retard if you're voting Democrat still. According to a poll conducted by the research at the Pew Research Center, we covered the other day, of course. Most Republicans do not. The Republicans are following the lead of the president, Trump, of course, orange face bad. Been reluctant to wear a mask, saying it did not seem right to wear one while he was receiving heads of state. He put the mask on in public for the first time during a visit to the hospital and all that. And then they just go on about the disputes. We will not be muzzled here. Trump finally wore one publicly in July. He's got the one with the presidential seal. Wow. Oh, man. It just goes to show you, though. They just keep coming with this stuff. All right. Video shows forceful arrest of black jogger. Well, okay, whatever. Forceful arrest. Oh, I mean, like, jeez. Can we watch it? Oh, man. The video of the arrest taken by a bystander shows police ushering. This is a top story on your communist news network here. A black man in San Antonio was stopped and detained by police Tuesday while he was jogging, witnesses said, as officers searched for the suspect in nearby domestic violence call. Video of the incident posted to social media shows the officers forcefully shoving the man. Of course, the man was Matthias Omatu, and he was ding, 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 ding. You know it, 33. So how legit do you think this story is? See, this is the whole thing. React emotionally to it, but, right? That's what they want. They don't want you to think, hey, what if CNN is actually making up this stuff? What if this stuff is actually staged? What if there actually is something called crisis actors? What if Snopes are just CIA agents that are here to try to, conceal all the evil doings of the New World Order? Of course, you can't have thinking people. And bystanders and police are still investigating, and no link to the video. Isn't that interesting? So CNN puts this up, and they don't even show you the video. So let's just see. I'll put it into Twitter here. I'll put Omatu here. And we'll look here. And Olmatu. Uzu Olmatu, Sports Watchers. Oh, don't see anything here coming up. Oh, it'll be here though, pretty soon. So you see here on Twitter, look what number 1 is. Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman dies at age 43. Black Panther. Your BLM mind control programming from your beast media. Disney itself runs Marvel and Star Wars and the History Channel and National Geographic and ABC and NBC and Fox Sports and ESPN and Lego and whatever else you can throw in there. Just keep throwing things and chances are it'll stick. And then you got this Yo 2020. I don't know what this is. Yo 20. Oh, there you go. Yo 2020. All the women here shave their head in Wakanda. Right? And all the women are like men. They're all... That's his honorary guard. Isn't this like the king or something? I haven't seen the stupid ass movie. I have no desire to see it. I've seen enough of these Marvel freaking horrible movies. But isn't that his royal guard are a bunch of women who all shave their heads? Yeah. So there you go. Chadwick Boseman has died. Gee, we didn't know that. Didn't we just see the whole... you got to have the top 3 things that are up show this guy. So basically, Chad Boseman's on a beach in Tel Aviv, as much as we know. Here's your Avenge the Fallen. Yeah, there you go. Wakanda. There you go. Wakanda. We're women like men. Wakanda. We take women, we take away their femininity. We shave their heads. Wakanda. We turn them into soldiers. Wakanda. I mean, it's so ridiculous, folks. It's so ridiculous. Look what they're doing. What's going on? What happened to women? What happened to women? Oh, the beast. That's what happened to women. I mean, seriously. You want your women to have more muscles than you? I mean, what kind of a world is this? It's a beast world. It's an inside-out world. It's an upside-down. Everything is reversed. Everything is inversed. Everything is inside-out. The inside-out world. It is the inside-out world. That's what they say on Stranger Things, eh? The inside-out world. That's what they're making, the inside-out world. Everything's got to change. Why didn't they... he doesn't have a vagina yet? He needs a vagina. Give him a camel toe already, right? Let's just get it on with, all right? And look at that. Heartbreaking to be waking up. I mean, I just stop. Just stop. Imagine people believe this. Imagine people get emotional over this. Probably people are crying over this. That's how stupid people are. R.I.P. Legend. I bet that's the same guy. Yeah, it is. Of course. It's like top 5 things. The top 10 things. Chadwick Boseman. I never even heard of the guy. I don't care. I don't give a damn about any actor. Shut up and do your move. Oh, there he is with Kobe. Yeah, there. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy who started the whole Kobe thing. That's the guy. This guy here. He's the one that kicked off the whole scamdemic. Oh, man. Oh, he's the greatest guy ever. There you go. He's the greatest. Look at him. He's the greatest guy ever. Oh, it's just terrible. It's just that family, immeasurable grief that he passed away. All right. Anyways. And again, YouTube community. All right. I don't give anything personal against anybody. Seriously. I don't believe a lick of it. I don't believe anything on your beast media. That's all. So if you're a YouTube employee and you're listening to this, and you think, hey, maybe I should cancel it. Maybe I should delete this channel. Terminate it. But maybe you should think about who Susan Wojcicki is and who her sister is and what these people are up to. Maybe you should think long and hard about what YouTube is up to. What is going on with YouTube trending? Let's take a look then. Let's take a look at where do we have it here? Oh, let's bring it up. We'll open up another window here. Check this out. I caught this video before here. Twending. Blackpink. Look at this crap. It's anti-music. It's just abominable. This is a cute girl, right? So, I'm not going to say, you better wake your ass up. All right? But the whole thing is that they got these girls here, and the boys look like the girls now, right? The BTS. Burn It With Fire. They look like girls. So you could put the BTS boys in here and maybe give them a few fake boobs and stuff, and people would be like, oh, yeah, they're so pretty. Because people are dumb. But you see, the whole thing here is Blackpink, of course. What is Blackpink? Well, I imagine it's your interracial, get blacked. Hey, women, get blacked. Gotta get blacked. Gotta get blacked. Yeah, get blacked, man. You gotta get blacked. And Blackpink ice cream. And so they're going around, right? And they're eating junk food. And I don't think there's any men in this video. I think there's zero men. It's just bubblegum and frickin' cotton candy and ice cream and the bestiality, a little bit of that at least. And then you got your trannies in there, and you've got these disgusting, talentless, just vomit on a stick. I mean, these people, seriously, folks, seriously. I mean, they're just awful. It's just awful music, awful everything. Here's your cube symbolism here. All the girls, there's really look so good. Yeah, look so sweet. And there's no guys in this, so it's not like they're romancing the guys. It's like they're romancing each other. And then they're eating the ice cream cones. Ice cream chill. And why, and again, this is all about your programming. Like, okay, what are they doing to the kids? Well, the kids, they want you addicted to all the worst stuff, starting with the foods, right? Now, you look at Selena Gomez, right? And she looks great, right? She doesn't look like she eats any of this crap. I bet you she doesn't. I bet she probably works out 2 hours, 3 hours a day, right? And yet, they're there eating ice cream. Have you guys heard the watermelon song there? That horrible, oh my God, it's one of the worst songs I ever heard. What is it called? Watermelon High or something like that? Oh my God, it just makes me, watermelon sugar. It's like anti-music. It's like, can we create the world's most annoying earworms and just unleash them on people? The music in this stuff is equivalent to the nutritional sort of toxic sort of foods that they're promoting to the kids. And this all ties into the gender confusion, the rainbow unicorn gender confusion, because the kids are they're making everything ultra sweet, right? Sugar wasn't sweet enough. You had to come up with aspartame, Donald Rumsfeld. We had to come up with sorbitol. We had to come up with all these sweeteners because sugar wasn't sweet enough. And you know what? Sugar, it's kind of bad for you, but you know what? It's just sugar. But we really want to mess people up. So let's make things ultra sweet. We'll put all these chemicals in them. We'll get all the kids addicted to the sweets. And then we'll mess them up and we'll turn them all into marshmallow people. And then we'll get them to go out and protest for extinction rebellions, right? I mean, like, everything that they're doing here to the kids is evil. The suspended childhood here, you got your purple coloring, the whole, right? Purple boa here with this girl. Is it a girl? I don't know. You better wake your ass up here. You got your Freemasonic symbolism here. The girls come. I can't play any of this. I wouldn't want to play it, for one, because it's so abominable. The music is so abominable. It's just awful. It's terrible. I just want to tell the people. I wish I could. I just wish I could say how awful your music is. I don't know how anybody could listen to this crap. It's like and I talk about like classic music. It doesn't matter what it is, right? It could be frickin' opera. It could be frickin', Led Zeppelin or AC/DC or frickin', the Beatles or the Bee Gees or frickin', anything, Motown, right? It could be Stevie Wonder. It could be anything. Even frickin' Huey Lewis in the News. You'll see all the comments are the same. Everyone says, yeah, this is back when music was good. All the kids today that have any sort of ability to see how awful things are know how awful the music is. They know how bad it is because they hear their parents' music and they're like, wow, that's when music was actually fun, when it was actually melodic, when musicians actually made it. And, not that the beast hasn't controlled the whole industry. And there they are. Now their frickin' ice cream cones have turned into kittens. And the kittens, little kittens that lost their mittens, the kittens have their own little ice cream cone in here, sort of thing. And this is the #1 video on trending here, the #1 video. And here they are in a giant ice cream thing, and they're all in their toy trucks, their little motorized vehicles, and you got your candy swirls. And this is exactly what Fortnite does. It does all the video games, all the music videos do the exact same stuff. One of the ones I showed, of course, was the Taylor Swift one, right? Where it was all the trannies and they were in their frickin' Animal Crossing kingdom sort of thing, and they all had their little frickin' freaky looking rainbow trailer, and they all ate cotton candy. Like, that's what they did, cotton candy and frickin', I don't know, sugar cubes and cotton candy and frickin', you know, ice cream and whatever else. I mean, you just see it here, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is what they're doing to the kids. It's just what it is. So anyways, that was the #1 video on trending because, you know, then you got my husband passed away telling his story. Why should anybody, I'm sorry. Like, I don't, you know, if your husband actually did pass away, I'm sorry. Actually, I don't know you from Moses. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about anybody that I've never heard about before. And why would, anyways, I filled Charlie's room with pictures of Chase. There you go. The Beast. I bought my friends the biggest mansion on the street, you know. I'll give $10 million to the last person to leave the room. Mr. Beast, right? With his friends that have zero personality, zero charisma, all right? Zero sense of humor. They have no culture, and they're just a bunch of dimwits, and yet they've got all the money in the world. Here's K/D, the baddest FT featuring G. I mean, like, what is this? This is English? What is, why can't you just, you know, she loves you, yeah, you know? I mean, what is it? What's so hard about a song? It's got to be K/DA, the baddest FT, you know, G in brackets, GIDLE, Bia Miller, Woof, Tyla, Meg the Stallion, right? Official lyric video, League of Legends. I mean, I don't even, what planet is this? What does this mean? Like, why should anybody know? You know, I mean, it's welcome to the N2K beach, your career, right? I bet there's Black Lives Matter in there, and there's the Nexus War for the Fortnite chapter here. So the Fortnite garbage. And they mix it all together. Now you got the Marvel and the Fortnite and everything else coming in here. There's your trannies. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that with the satanic symbolism here. What's going on here, folks? This is Fortnite. You better wake your ass up. Oh, man. Check this out. I mean, yeah, is that how you like your women, guys? I mean, seriously? Like, who wants a woman like this? Put up your hand. You want a woman like this? All right, ask the chat here. Who likes their women like this? If you like your women like this, press 1. If you don't like your women like this, press 2. There you go. I mean, seriously. Nexus War with your purple. Interesting. Somebody had sent me this earlier, but I didn't have it ready, but I'll just put purple and gold, of course. It's been popping up in the news here. DC landmarks will be lit up in purple and gold tonight. So I can't remember which one of my patrons sent me this, but thank you very much. Somebody had sent me this earlier. And yeah, for women's suffrage, purple and yellow. So purple and gold, or purple and yellow, right? Which is what? Of course, it's okay. Well, just in case you don't know. So if you've heard this before, I apologize, but I do always have to take into consideration there's a lot of people that aren't listening. So if I put that in, purple, yellow here, and when you see, it's interesting that there's purple, yellow, road, red, blue here, things coming up here. that on the spectrum here, this is what I wanted to show you. So this is the as above, so below. This is why they use this coloring. Yellow is at the 12 o'clock, purple is at the 6 o'clock. So they're diametrically opposed as colors. They represent with Hermeticism, right? What they believe. The purple represents the evil. It represents the Satan. The yellow represents the good, right? The healing and helping and nurturing and all that. And the purple equals destruction and chaos. And so when they show you the purple and gold, that's what they're doing. So when we say purple, gold, right? Or we say LA Lakers, right? It's purple and gold, of course. The purple and gold. And of course, we know that Kobe is the whole thing that kicked off the New World Order. So when they're using the purple and gold, when they use the purple, like for instance, in the television show, there's a lot of these shows that do this. So if you know of other ones, but the latest show that I caught, I actually watched it, which was the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance here, which you might want to check out because they feature these colors massively, especially the purple, right? And what they call it here is the darkening. I think it's called the darkening. Yeah, the darkening here. And one of the main characters here is the environmentalist. This is like the Greta Thunberg character of the Dark Crystal. And she's the healer that goes around saving all the animals and all the plants and stuff like that. And then what happens is she ends up absorbing the dark energy to save the 6 tribes. You know the tribes? You guys know about tribes? Are you familiar with the different tribes out of a certain place? Well, they have 6 tribes here that unite together. But they have this darkening that comes out. The darkening is symbolic of what they're trying to do to humanity. This is the New World Order that's rising. So they use the color purple all the time. This is their call for the color purple. And I've shown this many times, so I won't get into it now. But I did find that interesting that the White House and other D.C. landmarks will light up in purple and gold tonight for women's suffrage. Like, what? Women? What? What are you talking about? Women have had the vote for over 100 years. I mean, seriously, women's suffrage, okay. Suffrage is an interesting name too. Suffrage, right? Oh, you suffered, right? Women's suffrage. So they're using that symbol, the symbolism here for this particular, but they use it for everything, so it's just another example. Anyways, we'll move on from that. I'm going to get to the bone broth here in a second. There you go. Look at the Canadian Brainwashing Corporation here. Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman dies 43 after a 4-year fight with colon cancer. Oh, maybe you could be thinking, oh, come on, I can't say anything. I don't know. Again, like, is he dead or is he on a beach in Tel Aviv or on the dark side of the moon? You'll never know. You should never care. It means it's all part of the rituals. You know, people they cry. I mean, look at all the people that were crying when Kobe Bryant died, right? Do you really think he died? Do you really think? And even if he did, why are you crying? Unless you knew the guy, unless you absolutely knew him, and a lot of people that knew him said he was pretty fucking not like the nicest guy. All right, a lot of these guys too, like Michael Jordan, and when they're that driven, they become not very pleasant people to be around because they expect everyone to be yes men around them because their ego is so huge, sort of thing. So Kobe was kind of known for that, anyways. But and then look at this: a week of protest and outrage over police shootings. Thousands gather in D.C. for civil rights march. There you go. Oh, you got this! Oh, this dirtbag! Dirtbag. You want to talk about dirtbags? Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton is a scumbag. Anybody. You don't matter what color you are. This guy is a scumbag. But if you're black and you think this guy's a good guy, this guy worked. He was a effing rat for like 20 years for the FBI. He was ratting on his own people. Over and over again. He's a multi-millionaire. He's an absolute charlatan. He's a scumbag of the highest order. And of course, they bring them out. They roll them out for every one of these things. And look at this, 846, 846, 846, 846. Well, 846 is when the first plane hit the World Trade Center. Yep. So just think about that for a little bit. It's the rituals.
Now, a few days ago, I got a call and talked.
And what's going on here? I mean, half the people don't have their mask on. He doesn't have a mask on. This girl doesn't have her mask on. The guy behind him doesn't have a mask. This guy doesn't have a mask on. Ah, it's okay, though. Don't pay attention. This is all good. You don't need to wear a mask if you're protesting for Black Lives Matter. Honestly, this guy is a traitor and a scumbag. And he's just an actor that they use over and over again for these things.
A father whose son was shot in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
It takes 5 days for Al Sharpton to finish a sentence if he's actually seriously, what did you watch the William Shatner School of Acting? I mean, is that where you come from, Al? You're just pathetic. You're pathetic. And most black people know this. Most black people I know can't stand Al Sharpton. They hate him, as they should.
7 times in the back. While he was running into his car, policeman had the edge of his t-shirt. There was no weapon in his hand. There was no threat to the policeman. By law, a policeman should only use deadly force when they are under light extenuating circumstance. What could have been the circumstance when a man's running away from you? What could have been the circumstance when a man is trying to get in his car?
I know.
Now they say.
I know.
They may have
Can I answer? Is it okay if I answer? Yeah. When a police officer is trying to arrest you and he's pointing a gun at you, first, it's not a good idea to turn your back on him. Secondly, it's not a good idea to try to get back in your car, like trying to run away from him and get into your car. Third, it's really bad if you open the door and you start reaching in, because the cop's going to think that you're reaching for a weapon and he's going to shoot you. So, I don't know, Al. I guess you can leave all that out, right?
Knife in his car. Well, did they examine the police to see if they had x-ray vision to see through the car door? When he shot him, he didn't know what was in the car. When he knew...
That's the whole point, you stupid asshole! Now, everybody knows I'm no fan of the cops, okay? We can all agree. Jeff C. doesn't like cops, typically. I don't hate them all, but I don't like cops, all right? I've had enough bad experiences with them. But, I mean, come on, seriously? He's pointing his gun at you, which means he's close to shooting you already. They wouldn't have brought out the gun. So don't try to run away from him. Don't try to break into or get into your car, open the door, and start reaching for things, because obviously he's going to think, I don't want to be shot, and he's going to shoot you. It's unbelievable. I saw the video too, and it's like, come on. If it's real, come on, seriously? Like, what do you think a cop's going to do? I mean, yeah, let's give him time. No, wait a second. He might be reaching for some chiclets. You know, maybe he just wanted to get his water bottle. You know, I mean, like, seriously. I mean, come on. It's so dumb.
Was that a black man seems to be expendable, and we come to say we are no longer expendable. We are going to demand justice.
Yeah, we should put you in frickin' chains, you scumbag. Rocky but righteous. The crowds gathered to hear the keynote addresses from. Imagine if I did my show like that. I'd have like 0 listeners. If I did. People would be like, is he still on the same sentence? Like, yeah, I was here half an hour ago. He just started this sentence. Then, oh man, it's so dumb. I hate you, Al Sharpton. I really do. I hate it. I hate Jesse Jackson too. I hate the fake bullcrap black activists, scumbag preachers who are just sticking their fingers in all the pie and getting as much money as they can and making gazillions of dollars. I showed the video of him getting on his private jet there before. It was so hilarious. Anyways, I think I'm almost done. I'm going to get to chat here in a second. I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah, here, he's on the cover of BBC, of course. Floyd family urged protesters to be his legacy. What about his porn? How about his porn or all his prior convictions or his beating of women and children? How about that? What about Rayshard Brooks too? Like seriously, let's overlook all their criminal stuff. Let's overlook all the drugs that he was on. Let's overlook his porn career. Let's overlook everything and just say he's the greatest thing that ever happened. I mean, again, you know, all this stuff. Anyways, paralyzed Jacob Blake released from handcuffs. Now he's paralyzed. Now they're going to wheel him around. Maybe you could wheel him around. You could have him with, what's his name there? Gumpy or Gimpy. Stephen Hawking. The world's smartest man. There's no doubt in my mind that Stephen Hawking's the world's smartest man. I am certain of it. I just look at that guy and I say, that guy is smart. There's no doubt about it. Should Wisconsin police have used different tactics? TikTok star charged over partying during pandemic. And that's just more of their shenanigans. They let these guys off the rope, or they go, oh yeah, go ahead and have some fun, and we'll just have a little scandal out of it, and then it'll set the example for everyone else. That's what they do. And there's Turdo. Rise in threats against Justine Turdo. Say police says the Loch Ness Monster. Rise in threats against Justine Turdo. Translation, Jeff C. Well, the translation is Trudeau's up to his neck in hot water because of all his involvement and his family's involvement in funding the Kyleburgers frickin' Wee scandal. And to a tune of $1 billion of Canadians' taxpayers' money, in which his own mother and brother got over $500,000 for speaking at charities, and yet this scumbag, the information that they released has all been redacted, of course, and everything else. Iranian immigrant who conquered online videotech, Loch Ness Monster. I mean, look at it. You just know right away it's total bullcrap. You don't have to read any more. It's just, it is what it is. Continuing our father's fight for racial justice. Thousands gathered march in Washington. Look at it. It's all the stories. All of them are pretty much on the same thing. Could voters agree as they watched Trump? Right? Everything is Black Panther star. You know, it's all everything is, it's the beast. The beast is beasting. That's all you can say. Kenosha shootout. Oh, there's graphic footage. I can't show this one. Somebody was actually shot. Looks like they're seriously hurt. And you saw that. Is there anything else? This popped up when I was doing a video. 3-year-old clinging to unicorn float is rescued from... 3-year-old clinging to unicorn float. Loch Ness Monster clinging to Sasquatch float is rescued. Right? Dramatic video. I mean, it's the biggest pile of bullcrap. A 3-year-old. Of course, unicorn. So that's just more silliness. And is there anything else? Oh, yeah, Russian state TV. I didn't see this one yet. Maybe we'll close with this.
This is Man and Law, a primetime Friday night show on Russian state TV. Its millions of viewers are being fed a diet of baseless conspiracy theories gleaned from across the internet about the coronavirus pandemic. The 15-minute...
Yeah, well, what's lies about that? He just said the whole thing is... I mean, I don't speak Russian here, but this whole mess was caused by multi-billionaire Bill Gates. Well, I mean, there's a lot more to it, but yeah. I mean, yeah, no, it's a crazy conspiracy theorist, of course.
The 15-minute segment was broadcast on April the 24th. The same day, a European Union report said Russian state media were waging a coordinated campaign to sow confusion about the origin of the global COVID-19 outbreak.
That's bizarre too, eh? She's got the Superman shirt on. Her kid's in the black and white here. Bill Gates. Imagine Bill and Melinda are coming over. Guys, Bill and Melinda are coming over for dinner. Bill's bringing his vaccines. Bill's bringing the vaccines. He's coming over. He's coming over. He's got a big smile on his face. The only time he smiles, well, he smiles when he laughs out loud when he talks about how bad the economy is and all the people that are suffering. That's when he really smiles. So the billion, well, sorry, try to pause in time. The billionaire sponsors the World Health Organization in order to reduce the population of the planet. Yeah. Nothing, all true. Nothing wrong there. Judging by his own statements, he does it on purpose and openly.
In its extensive smear of the Microsoft founder, the report cites...
I love that, Microsoft. Why didn't you just say philanthropist? Honestly, the guy's a clinical psychopath. I mean, his entire life is just a giant wart on humanity. And the guy is just the biggest scumbag ever. The most privileged douchebag. Oh, he's a world-class asshole on top of it. And yet, you know, he's a philanthropist. Oh, man.
Variety of controversial sources.
Oh, yeah, only 500,000 kids paralyzed. Hey, kids, it's all conspiracies.
Without context. They include a homeopathy website called greenmedinfo.com, anti-vaccination campaigner Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and a Canadian pro-life Christian website called lifesitenews.com. Russian experts are also used to explain a bizarre, unfounded narrative about a coronavirus vaccine that's stored on microchips and sewn under people's skin.
Yeah, unfounded. Oh, there's just so many. How many different endeavors is Bill Gates into, including in doing actual quantum dot tattoos in order to, identify everyone. And then, of course, with Bill Gates and his history in India, in which they got the entire frickin' billion and 1.2 billion or whatever it is people all on their database. Everybody's registered. Everybody has a digital ID. And it's like they've been financing all these endeavors in order to develop this type of tech, to put it in their system, to microchip us all, to quantum dot tattoo every single human being. And yet, no, it's all conspiracy. Even though it's all in the open, it's all out there. Unbelievable.
Ты не угоден этой системе, которую они хотят построить, то тебя можно от него отключить, нажать.
And if you don't fit into their system that they want to create, you can be turned off with a switch of a single button. Exactly. 100%. That's exactly the system. That's exactly what Aaron Russo said about the Rockefellers, right? And exactly what they wanted to do. That they wanted to eliminate. They want to eliminate cash. Oh, it's this crazy conspiracy theorist. They're suggesting that the New World Order wants to eliminate physical cash. Except, everywhere you look, you're eliminating cash. Except, Australian just took down 10,000 plus ATMs because they want to stop the distribution of cash. India has bought back all kinds of denominations because they want to eliminate cash. The Federal Reserve is talking about wiping out cash. But no, it's all a conspiracy theory. It's unbelievable.
A New York Times report a week before the show was broadcast said that misinformation circulating in the United States about Bill Gates was now the most widespread coronavirus falsehood on the internet. The report noted that conspiracy theories about Gates were also amplified by people such as Fox News host Laura Ingraham and Roger...
What does she say here? Digitally tracking Americans' every move has been the dream of the globalists for years. This health crisis is the perfect vehicle for that. You know what? Yeah, she's a shill, but she's 100% right. There's nothing wrong with this post. In fact, this is exactly true. I don't endorse this person, but they're right. That's exactly true. That's exactly what they want. Unbelievable. Digital certificate to identify who received COVID-19. That's exactly what they want to do. But no, you're a conspiracy theorist because you think they want to have everybody microchipped and monitored, and they want to wipe out the cash system. They want to control us all, and they want to put drones and facial recognition. Well, they're doing that, you scumbags. Oh, yeah, no, you guys are crazy. You think they're going to put 5G everywhere. Yeah, gee, they are putting 5G everywhere. It's unbelievable.
Ingram and Roger Stone, the former advisor of US President Donald Trump.
Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this.
God, please, please, please do something about this person. Please, please. Just please do something. Oh, man.
Instead, it looks like this.
This TED Talk Gates gave in 2015 has had more than 25 million views on YouTube. Some conspiracy theorists have suggested his prescience shows he was somehow behind the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah. And it also appears in the Russian TV.
Gee, let's not even mention Event 201. The event that immediately preceded this entire freaking scamdemic, in which him, the Rockefeller Center and the freaking Bloomberg Center of Medical Health and all got together with the World Economic Forum, and they carried out the exact same scenario with the exact same freaking coronavirus, and they even gave out freaking plushies, coronavirus plushies for Event 201. And yeah, we won't even mention that. Now, we'll just show you this TED thing, and we'll pretend that never happened.
Report. His comments reflect what epidemiologists around the world have been warning governments about for years. Gates was asked about...
And look at that. Look at that. Look at how it goes. You've got the one world, the red freaking stupid-ass spot that they all stand on for TED. TED. TED is the NWO. It's freaking unbelievable. And then look what happens.
It also appears in the Russian TV report. His comments reflect...
And then it goes right here, and look what they show. Red circle. We are not ready for the next pandemic. And what I show with this CNN, those scumbags on CNN. Sanjay Gupta. Anderson frickin' pooper scooper, CIA, right? And Bill Gates comes on all the time, and they got a frickin' map of the world with bloodstains all over it. I mean, who the frick would make that map? They had that map back in frickin' January. It's like, how the hell would you have all that produced? They had produced an entire studio for this whole thing. And every night, the same morons turn on and look at Sanjay Gupta in front of that map with all the bloodstains all over the countries of the world. It's unbelievable. And you have the gall to tell us that we're conspiracy theorists.
Epidemiologists around the world have been warning governments about for years. Gates was asked about the conspiracy theories surrounding him in a Vox podcast recorded on April the 24th, the same day as the Man and Law broadcast.
So misinformation is pretty dangerous stuff, particularly in this type of crisis where people's willingness to believe wild things.
When you're listening to him, just picture his scrawny arms and hands going in every direction. You know how he does that? Just picture that. Just think about him. When you think about this, just listen to him.
I think is heightened. Who should we blame? People want it. We're all in a very tough situation. Me less than others, but broadly.
Oh, this poor woman. She's like, is it safe? Is it safe? He's like, don't worry, you can trust me. I'm a billionaire. Oh, man. I mean, look how happy he is. He's giving her the vaccine. He's like, yeah, don't worry. I love black people. I bet he told her before, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You guys get the vaccine first.
But broadly, somebody said we should take this country and blame them, or, this person, who's different than us.
Yeah, let's blame this person. Our global goals right there in your face. Right in your face.
That is dangerous stuff.
Russian state media have given prominent airtime to conspiracy theories for months now. This report in February suggested Donald Trump was responsible. Now the same TV channel has turned its sights on Bill Gates. It comes as COVID-19 cases continue to rise rapidly in Russia, and TV viewers need reliable information.
Yeah! TV viewers, look at this Bill. Bill. Oh man, if I ever got that close to Bill, oh boy, it would be so tempting. So tempting. So, hey Bill, your tie's loose there. Come over here. Sorry, Bill, it's gonna tighten. It's alright, Bill. You'll be alright, man. Oh man, anyways. Bill, alright, I think that's it. I'm gonna get over to the chat, see how everyone's doing. What's up? What's up? I got the bone broth. I hope you guys are hanging in there. I'm gonna stop sharing this screen here. There you go. Yeah, you get the tranny back. What is happening? We'll see who's in the chat here. We got 286 people watching. Hey, thanks everybody. That's good numbers for a backup of a backup kind of thing. But hey, we're here. We're still alive. We're still going. It's all right. What's up? Who's in the house here? You got Faceless. Nice to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Marsha, Tim Rowe, Moon Mother, Pooper Scooper, Callie, Susan. Nice to see you, Susan. I don't know how to say that. Da-A. Okay. Paranoia. Nice to see you. Who else is there? Subdue Light, Manbear Pig, Emmanuel. Fuck you. Widowmaker. Imagine. Jason, Freedom Deep, Jogan's in the house. Moon Mother, Sean, nice to see you. Hexblessed Truth, Crystal, Supernome, Marsha, Tinkle Think, Mach 1, Lorraine, Tim, Jen, yeah, CJ. There's Brendan McBride. Did you go to the McDonald's to get your wife? Oh, nice to see you, Brennan. There's Mushroom Magpie, Eric, Patricia, Big Cannoli, Michael, who else is there? Angel, Michael, and anybody else. Thank you all for coming by. I hope you guys are hanging in there. How's your week going? How are you guys doing? Where are you guys at? You guys want to reveal your whereabouts? Let people know. Anyways, it's nice to be able to do the live show tonight. Yeah, I had a lot of things to talk about. I guess I had more than I thought. I was like, oh, I'd probably be able to get through it all by midnight, and then I'd get over the chat. But you know how it is once I start get going, sort of thing. So Bruno's got a question here. Hey, Jeff, how do you think we should prep for our upcoming days in Canada? Stockpile the maple syrup, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because it depends where you are and what your situation is. But I think always have a good stock of food and water is just a no-brainer. Maybe some cash if they still allow you to use it. And just get connected with people, like-minded people, form communities with those people, and have a system, a contact system maybe in place offside the grid, maybe through old-fashioned telephone and stuff like that. If SHIT hits the FAN. Why do I spell FAN? I don't need to. I think I swore a few times tonight too. I figure on a Friday show I can get away with the occasional SHIT shit shitter and crap. Anyways, yeah, I hope that maybe helps a little bit. My city mandated mask. I gotta stand up here. I've been sitting. That's better now. I stretch my legs. My city mandated mask and want to fine us if we do not wear them. Governor said they can't do this, and people are now protesting shopping in my city. What a mess. Which city are you in, Miss Mooney? Thank you, Marsha. Appreciate that. So da says da a. It says it's just random letters. Okay, cool. I like that. I do that. I go. Hi from Australia. Sue. I hope you're not in Melbourne or Victoria. Jeff, I hope you Canadians and especially our Australian friends are doing well. My heart goes out to you folks. Yeah. Good stuff. Faceless. I agree. Let's see here. Always nice to hear what's on your mind, Jeff. Thanks, Explicit. Appreciate that. New Zealand, land of the transpocalypse. Yeah, I got their packages there and your leaders. Jeff, take the pic on your desk. We want to see the condition of it. After all, yeah, it's hanging in there. And one of these days, it's gonna. I'll hit it and it'll just like split, and then you'll hear crash, and you hear all this cursing, and then probably it'll cut out because the computer will be busted. Maple syrup is racist. I agree. It's very racist because it's white people, and it's too many white people eat maple syrup. See, the problem with maple syrup is that it's French Canadians, and French Canadians like to put it on everything. And this is the thing with French Canadians, they're white. And they like maple syrup, and they like to put it on everything. If you go to Sugar Shack here in Quebecistan, it's pretty hilarious because they'll give you like they'll give you a meal, like that's part of your when you pay to get in, you get this big Quebecois meal, and they'll give you like pancakes and eggs and sausages and all that stuff, right? And they'll just drown it in maple syrup. It's just everything. Put more syrup. Anyways, yeah. Maple syrup, milk in bags, Mountie uniform. Yeah, there you go. Did you see the new New Zealand abortion laws? They are a literal insult to God. No, I haven't. I haven't seen that. As for my name, yeah, I got your name. I'm gonna. I'll just call you Da. How about that, Da? It makes it easier. Yeah. You're better off in Canada than in the USA. You got woods that aren't being burned down. Yeah, well, they're don't give them ideas. Now they're listening. They're like, yeah, we could burn down the woods in Quebec too. I've got plugs in Indianapolis. Always have walkie-talkies. Yeah, I agree. Go backwards. Great suggestion, Paranoia. Buy lots of... Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention that. Buy ammo and guns. Yeah, absolutely. There's a no-brainer. No-brainer. How about slingshots? You'd be like, why? Well, drones, they could be pretty useful because a slingshot, right? It doesn't make a lot of noise. It doesn't make really any noise. It'll make some noise when you impact, but it doesn't shoot off. So say if you're in the country and you got drones that are coming, you want to have a slingshot. You want to have other things maybe either. Obviously a gun, stuff like that. But there's Rob. Yeah, Rob Masaryk there. He's a firearms expert. So good to see you, Rob. Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's good. Nice to see you. Faceless puts maple syrup in his vodka. I guess that could work. Actually, maple syrup is amazing. I use maple syrup every day. Every single day. Of course, you get it cheap here, right? Like, it's one of the only things that's really cheap. Although Montreal's pretty good compared to the rest of Canada. But maple syrup is, like, it's the cheapest place. Like, anywhere else. When I talk to my American friends and they say, oh, yeah, maple syrup's so expensive, And it's like, I can get them for, like, $5 a liter. Grade A maple syrup. $5 a liter here in Quebec. And I stockpile them. So yeah, it's kind of like, and people like, maybe if you don't use maple syrup, it's kind of like honey. Like you can use it for any sweetener. So you can use it in cooking and drinks and all kinds of things. So I'm sure it would go well with vodka. Oh yeah, Sugar Shack. Yeah. Maple syrup flavored cigarettes. Yeah, syrup is good. I went to Canada as a kid, very racist. Yeah, there's no question. All these white people, it's just awful. French Canadians are always like, your French is very bad. Yeah, they say that to me too. Although sometimes I can fool them. BYOBB is so great. Yeah. You gotta bring your bone broth here. Jeff, hi from Mexico. From Mexicans, our salsa is our syrup. Oh, I love salsa. I love that. Oh, I love Mexican food too. Real Mexican food, not the taco hell crap, but yeah, that's awesome. St. Louis, thank you very much for cheering me up tonight. My sister Pat. Oh, so sorry to hear that, Susan. My condolences. But that's good that you're, you got to get together with the family and you gotta cry it out and, let the emotions out. That's what I say, sort of thing. But I'm very sorry to hear that. I hate bacon, maple syrup, and poutine, but I love Canadian people. Oh, I don't know. Bacon? Who hates bacon? Are you serious, Patricia? How could you hate bacon? Are you serious? I know most vegetarians, most vegetarians I know, the one thing that they cannot, they can't stand not having is bacon. Because bacon it's so crispy. I'm like a bacon expert too. Like I cook the world's best bacon, or at least that's what my brain tells me. But yeah, I get the extra crispy, chewy bacon. That's what I go for. But yeah, I don't know. Maple syrup? Seriously? Maple ice cream? Okay, so you're talking vanilla ice cream. So you know what you get. It's very simple. You get the all-natural, really good quality vanilla ice cream. Get yourself some walnuts and some maple syrup, and then you're cooking. Yeah, that always goes down really well. Goes well with pralines too as well. Honey is cheaper here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I love honey too. It'd be nice in coffee. I don't like sweet coffee though, so I'll drink tea over your dang maple syrup. Yeah, I use maple syrup in tea. I don't drink tea in the summertime. Summertime I mostly drink water. On a Friday I'll have some beers, so I'm having some bone broth. But I don't typically drink but in the winter I drink lots of tea, like herbal teas, and I always use maple syrup. So I have like vanilla tea or freaking mint tea or chamomile or all different types of teas. I like the tea too. What is it called? I can't remember. It's really spicy tea there. That the strong cinnamon. Chia? Is that it? I can't remember. Anyways, at least cannabis is legal in Canada. That's true. It's legal. They want us all smoking. Half maple syrup and half scotch is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Canada, too much snow, obviously racist. Yeah, that's right. It's too much white. I can't taste maple syrup. I prefer honey. You need to get the good stuff. Make sure you get it from Quebec. Yeah, Quebec makes the best maple syrup. The cops said they just shot Jacob Blake has the last name Shesky, and his grandfather worked for the city for 33 years. Yeah, there you go. They got to throw that. Excuse me. Maple syrup is healthier than honey. There you go. It's over with now. Sorry, honey, you lose. Sorry, honey. Oh, I've said that too many times. That'd be great. Oh, that's not for me. You're welcome, Susan. What's up, Gene? Honey maple sounds delicious. Yeah. Seriously, we're showing the sugar stuff before, but I like sweets, but I like natural sweets. Right? Like I don't like using sugar. I prefer using like maple or honey to bake things and make things and stuff like that. But if we're gonna use sugar, maybe some brown sugar or something like that. But still, anything's better than their synthetic chemical freaking aspartame, sorbitol, xylitol, all that crap that they want us to consume. Somebody said sausages there. I just lost your... Yeah, the Mushroom Magpie says maple syrup is basically tree bone broth. Yep. Jeff, you cook. What's your best dish? It's on the grill. I'm a grill specialist, so I'm not like I love cooking, but I just don't have the time to these days. I haven't really had the time to, but I love doing that. I would love to like spend, like I like spending a whole afternoon cooking something. It's fun. I like it. I enjoy the process. Cannabis is legal in Canada. Yes, it is. It's legal here. Hey. They legalized it a couple years ago. We even have pot distilleries or distribution centers, which I never use because I don't trust the government. But yeah, they legalized marijuana here, and you can have up to, I think, an ounce. And in most provinces, you can have, I think, 5 or 6 plants. So you can grow it yourself. Although Quebec is funny like that. It's not really clear because the government said, no, you can't grow plants here. Which I think is the best. I think you grow plants. That's the way to go, because then you take the whole middleman out of the whole equation. You get your seeds, and then you're set, right? You can grow your own weed, and then you know exactly where it's coming from. You know that's clean. You know exactly what strain it is and all that stuff. So I like that. But yeah. Is that why Canadians smoke that stuff? Here in Montreal, you can't walk around without smelling it. You honestly can, especially in the summertime. You wouldn't be able to go half a block in Montreal without smelling pot. It's just everywhere. There's a lot of pot smokers here in Montreal. They're very big on that. More than Vancouver. People would think Vancouver is more because it's the biggest cash crop there. The only Baconator in my family. Oh. Let's see here. What do you think of David Icke? Is he legit? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's questions for concern, and then there's a lot of good stuff, and then there's some bad stuff, so it's hard to know. I mean, it could be 80 good, 20 bad. It could be something like that. It could be controlled. Most people that I know would probably say, oh, he's totally controlled and all that. But I try to like weigh the whole thing, and I think things are a little bit more complicated. But yeah, I don't really listen to David Icke though, so... sorry, Dave, if you're listening. I just don't have time. I don't even listen to Corbett these days because I just don't have any time. Raw honey you can put on wounds too. Yeah, raw honey is awesome. I love it. I smoke ribs 8 to 10 hours. Yeah, that's the way to do it, eh? Oh, God, ribs are awesome. That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. Get some dang burgers on the grill. Yep. Yeah, I'm a guy. I like to cook. I like the grill. That's what I like. Steaks, ribs, stuff like that. Man, I need this show tonight. Thanks, everybody. Rough week. Oh, this is a crazy world. Hey, great. I'm glad. That's why I say the bone broth, right? Because I want people to chill out and relax. I mean, you don't have to drink. I'm not endorsing alcohol or drugs or anything like that, but I'm saying, hey, kick up your feet and relax. If you got a drink, crack it open. Chill out. Hang out. And we'll have fun, sort of thing. So, yeah. I tried eating honeycomb for the first time. It's pleasant. Oh, yeah. I always wanted to try to eat that. I feel like I'd be like a bear, I love the way the bears just don't care. It's like the bears, the wolverines, the honey badgers, they don't give a damn about the bee stings. They're like, this is too good. 50 bee stings? It's all right. No big deal. Small price to pay for such delicious delights. Yeah. Gotta love it. David Icke unironically looks like a lizard. Like he spent the night at my house. He'd have to sleep under a big red lamp. Imagine you did that. He's like, you're hanging out one night, and he's like, yeah, it's okay if I crash over. And then you wake up in the middle of the night, and he's hanging out underneath a lamp there. He's getting like really close to it. He's making strange noises. You're like, okay, there's something weird about him. I got some shatter with Trump, but I'm scared smoking. It's seen as just smoke ribs, not dicks like commie pricks. David Icke is the son of God. Yeah. Icke said it's white men enslaving mankind. Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know what he said. Alex Jones and David Icke are the same archetype. They're absolutely controlled, at least at this point in their career. Yeah, I always felt Icke was better a lot better than Jones, but I don't trust him. But, you know, I don't really know. I mean, it's hard to know. I don't want to like I used to, you know, call out people, and obvious. I think Jones is pretty obvious, right? Like I don't have any qualms, but I don't really watch Ike. I never really have. I've seen some of his stuff, and, you know, obviously I'm very aware of him. He's even like featured my videos before, and, you know, so I don't know, you know, I don't want to say to people, oh, don't listen to this person's controlled. You know, I think you have to make up your own mind. I think also with information, like, you can still get good information from people that might be controlled, but you just have to keep that in mind. Like, you might say, you know, oh, I can go to this person to learn about such and such, right? But I'm not going to trust them on this and that sort of thing. That's kind of the way I look at it, right? Like, because I know, like, some people, like, for instance, when I was starting off and really, you know, became, you know, pretty popular back in the day, was because I was exposing all the shooting and bombing fakery and the media fakery, basically. And there's a lot of people in the truth movement that wouldn't touch that stuff with a 100-foot pole. So, and it like, to me, it's like, you know, I was kind of fishy at the time because I was trying so hard to get all these, you know, people to reveal what we were showing, like what we were exposing, and none of them would go for it. None of them would show anything, right? Like, for example, We Are Change and AMTV and Alex Jones and like so many of those people, even Corbett to a certain extent, right? Like, they just wouldn't touch any of the stuff that we were revealing. So, but then again, you know, you don't know all the time, sort of thing. Anyways, I think a lot of what he says is good. So, you know, I just don't really watch him, so I can't really offer that opinion. And I don't want to call out people, and you could be wrong and stuff like that. So it's like Max Egan. Like, a lot of people think Max Egan's a shill, but he's been pretty good when it comes to what's going on in Melbourne, right? Like, he's been bang on calling it out, and I think the good outweighs the bad, you know. And you gotta sometimes just, you know, the bigger picture is more important. That, you know, like, if they're exposing this, that, and these things are extremely important, and they're getting censored, and they're you know, demonized and all that, then, you know, maybe there is something good there. So anyways, let's see here. Yeah, I know about the lizard people. I'm not, you know, you see, with the lizard people thing too, the simple thing for me is this, like, yeah, you know, like, I often joke about it, like, these people are lizards, and their behavior is reptilian, or they're using the reptilian part of their brain, right? And that they seem cold-blooded. And that would explain a lot of things, because it's like, how can these people be so evil? How can they be so careless? Well, I did show the Hermeticism before with the purple and the gold. And the Hermetic sort of belief set is that to do good, you have to be able to commit evil. So, like they believe that in order for them to save the world, sort of thing, they have to be able to kill a lot of people, for instance. Like, those types of things. So, yeah. Anyways, where was I with that? Faceless says, I wish I could eat a 10-pound steak with Alex Jones and tie him to a chair and force him to drink. I'd both have fun and forcibly interrogate. I laughed so hard. Was it you, Faceless, that sent that? And it was like Alex Jones, and we're gonna take down the sign. And he showed up at a park, and with all these other, you know, info warriors or what, all these other people. I guess it's somewhere around Austin. And he was ripping the barricades, and then he jumped in the, like, he took off his, like, he's in his bathing suit, and he's almost as thick as he is, like, tall, sort of thing. So he's like a Weeble Wobble type character, right? and he does like a big jump into the river, the lake or whatever, where all the people were. It was freaking hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. And but yet, you know, this I almost agree with this spirit, and I think a lot of the people there, it's just like we want to have freedom and stuff like that. It's just Alex Jones, unfortunately, is completely controlled, but he is hilarious. I do find him very entertaining. So, hang on, I'm gonna be right back and replenish my. Had to get the bone broth going. Yeah, I ran dry there. Let's see. He talks about world government. Okay, I saw that one. And Phoenix Cat is in the house. I hope you're feeling better, Phoenix Cat. Or she had a car accident, and I think she has to have surgery. So shout out to Phoenix Cat. Hope you're hanging in there. There's Don. Nice to see you, Don. Jeff's just jealous. Alex Jones has a cool line of mail. Yeah. I gotta get my own bone broth. That's the only thing I'm gonna get. Jeff C's bone broth. I'm willing to listen to people. I always enjoy having random convos in London if I was in a gig in a pub. Yeah, awesome, Subdue. Even exposed the crisis actors. Hey, Jeff, that's what you really got censored. Yeah, exactly. Rob knows he was around. Also, Mike Cernovich has male supplements. He has the blue pills. Yeah, take these pills. I'll get the gorilla mindset. If you guys got the wrong mindset, you got to get the gorilla mindset. So I get these pills here. I get these blue pills. I take these out like 3 times a day. Yeah. And then he does the gorilla thing. There's Uncool. Nice to see you, Uncool. Hope you're having a great Friday. It's actually Saturday here now. Saturday night's all right for fighting though. Ike's job is to make the truth look insane. He tells truth and then throws lizard. Yeah, that's my kind of thing. There's Phoenix Cat. You have to have surgery. It's a broken wrist, right? You'll be all right. Don't worry. You'll be all right. Have you heard about the documentary by David Icke's son called Unnatural? I think it's about 5G. No, I haven't. Reptilian equals flat earth. Just keep busy on BS. Yeah. Well, they try to staple those things to... So, it's, you know, it's like if you want to dismiss somebody who is saying something that you don't want other people to listen to, you can just staple flat earth on it, right? And then people will laugh. And that's why they release those psyops. Let's see here. Psychopaths think literally. When a normal person says, little baby, I want to eat you up, psychopaths actually think of eating them. Yeah. Or they think, what would that be like? They can't empathize. What about Rick Wills? Rick Wiles? I don't know who that is. What is bone broth? The bone broth. We get our bone broth straight from deep in Africa. We send over Joe Biggs. Joe Biggs is finding the best bones that are out there on the market. Getting them straight from Africa, from the savannah. And we mix them down in our own plant. We inject super male vitality and tangerine. And then in the end, it ends up tasting like Ovaltine. Yeah, bone broth. Although a lot of people have told me, and I don't doubt it, that bone broth is actually quite healthy. Like if you take animal bones and you make a broth out of them, maybe with the bones and the marrow, because there's lots of nutrients in them, that it could be a healthy thing for your energy. So I know a lot of people that listen to me drink bone broth. So I've never tried it though. Of course, when we're talking bone broth, we're probably more referring to alcoholic beverages. Jeff, I'm having a bone broth ice pop. Ooh, yeah, nice. Dude, crisis actors are definitely real. Did you follow? Do you folks know that documentary Braveheart was completely fake? Apparently, that was just Mel Gibson. The whole Braveheart thing is based on a poem. There's like that's the only thing that really exists as far as I know about William Wallace, and so there's almost no information. So yeah, and like the idea that William Wallace screwed the princess and gave the heir to the throne of England. It's just silly, but it works well as a movie. That scene though with Longshanks, the scene that today would probably be flagged for hate speech, in which he takes his son's gay sort of lover and throws him out the window. It's got to be one of the funniest scenes in movie history. It's just so well done. You don't see it coming. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I laughed so freaking hard. Everybody laughed, which kind of tells you something. Everybody's a homophobe. Only joking. Yeah, it turns the frogs gay. That's right, it does. Flat Earth refers to... Oh, I can't take Flat Earth. If you take Cernovich supplements, you immediately become friends with Dershowitz. Yep. And then you can start raping people. And then you could start thinking that you're a gorilla, maybe. And you can do some really weird things with your body and videotape yourself, making all these grunts and whatnot. Remember Cernovich? He's like, come on, guys, just wear a mask, you know? It's not a big deal. Just put on a mask. It's all right. I'm wearing a mask right now. Did you see that Elon Musk brain chip implant is being demoed with a pig? No, I haven't seen it. Innovation. Yeah, send it to me. I'd appreciate that. Jeff, change the wallpaper. Someone blocked and deleted me on Facebook because I said the brokini is ridiculous. That's not enough, though. I mean, seriously, uncool. I think you're just gonna need to be deplatformed and fired and publicly humiliated and doxxed as well. Yeah, that's good. Doxxed, definitely. It's actually quite racist what you did there. You know, you don't like brokinis. That says everything about you. It says nothing about the brokinis. It says too much about you. Oh, that's hilarious, though, eh? They blocked. You're blocked. This person has blocked you. Did you watch the Neuralink demo? You probably already covered it. I'm late. I don't know which Neuralink. Oh, I don't think so. Damn, Neuralink. Did you send that to me on Patreon? I'll have to check it out. I've got so many things, so I get a little bit swamped at times, but I will get to it for sure. Thank you so much. The crisis actors believe in their minds that they're telling the truth. Self-delusion. Sometimes, but there is that. I see this in people I know where it's like, you know, like people that are typical liars, that they'll believe in their own lies, and then they'll get angry if you call them out on their lies, even though you know that they're lies. But you know. But yeah, people that believe in something enough, because like what'll happen with a crisis actor, for instance, in our YouTube community, don't get excited. We know they don't exist. This is just in the crazy mind of conspiracy theorists. So I'm just going into that crazy realm. But what happens is that they'll partake in media fakery, and then when they get called out, this has happened many times with me, like many times. And well, let me think here. How many times? I'm thinking of several times. So I don't know how many times it's happened. But these actual crisis actors have come to me directly. So it's happened on several occasions on many of the things I used to cover back in the day, where the actual crisis actor would come to me and say, you're crazy, or you're this or that or whatever. Or they try to contact me, or, like, and it's true, though, that what happens is that if you are on a side and you believe in your side, even though you could be completely fake and manipulative, you'll get angry when people call you out, sort of thing. And then you'll feel righteous. You'll feel that, that you have to come out, or that's the way that I imagine they would feel, is that they would feel like the need to be aggressively countering what you would be saying, sort of thing. But yeah. 153 News seems where all the auto hoaxers went. Well, that's not where Jeff C went, that's for sure. The auto hoaxers, yeah. Joe Rogan does great gorilla impressions. I think he does better chimp impressions, because he strikes me more, he's more chimpish because he's so small. Well, he's not small, he's like a little ape, but he's like a little chimpanzee. I think he's like, how tall is Joe Rogan? Is he 5'1" or 5'2" or something like that? Or has he gotten shorter? Maybe the steroids help shrink him or something. I don't know. He's pretty short though, eh? But good night, Subdue. Where are we here? Oh yeah, Neuralink is Elon's brain chip. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. Of course I did. I'll check it out. I guess I'm gonna have to cover it real soon here. Gosh, there's just so much going on. It's crazy. When I do the shows with Camille, I'm always blown away. It's like there's so much that most of us don't see, that is just happening so rapidly, and it's like, oh my God, look at all this crazy stuff that they're doing. 153 News, biblical reference, fish caught. It refers to Vesica Pisces, the union of the male and the female, transgenderism. Is that? I don't even know anything about 153 News. I just know that it exists, and that I guess a lot of people went over there when the censorship was really bad. The words Oregon Trail immediately caused me to launch. Well, I was suggesting that when you're put into the detention camp, Faceless, that they provide you with a computer that has one program on it, and that would be the Oregon Trail. I was contacting the CIA and the FBI, telling them that, I can help you with Faceless. I can help you a lot. He really loves this game, and he wants to play it all the time. So I think they won't do the water torture or anything like that. They'll just go to the Oregon Trail and just fire it up. They'll have your eyes held open like a Clockwork Orange, and you'll be forced to play the Oregon Trail over and over and over and over. Does anybody ever win? Has anybody ever won the Oregon Trail? Is it possible to win? Or you always end up as Carry-On or something? Dual stream, yeah. The Ottawa hoax, yeah, there's another one. Thank you, Candyman. Where are we here? Steroids shrink your meat and veg too, yeah. That show with Camille was awesome. I agree. I love working with Camille. She's terrific. I love working with Faceless too, and Grace and everyone, all the people I work, TMF and FEMA Camp, Oregon Trail. Camille got a new mic. That's true. Yeah, Camille got a new mic now. The New World Order is shaking. They're like, oh my God, is it true? Bill Gates. I just heard about this news. I just heard of this very disturbing news coming out of Jeff C's podcast. It appears that I'm moving my arms around while I'm doing this. I have to. It appears that one of his co-hosts, named Camille, managed to upgrade her mic, and this could be real trouble for all of us, especially if enough people start to listen to what they're saying. That's how you do Bill Gates. You have to move your arms when you're doing it. You gotta. Yeah, nobody ever wins. Nobody's ever won Oregon Trail. I've never played it. There's like some remake that I saw. I think it was on the iOS, and I was like, "What is this game?" It's one of those. You guys ever do that when you're a kid? Read those Choose Your Adventure. Those are the worst books ever. And you'd be like, if you want to open the door, turn to page 43. If you want to turn around and run back down the stairs, turn to page 74. And most of the time, you just end up dead, right? It's a choose your own adventure. Choose your own event. Well, you're not really. You're just. It's kind of like the game. If you guys ever played this, which is called Dragon's Lair. It's a game. It was like an animated video game, right? And so like, and when I was a little kid, it was like, whoa. I mean, it was like a video game that looked like a freaking Disney cartoon, but it was all predetermined. So you had to click at the right moment, and then your character would do the predetermined sort of things based on which way you clicked or pushed the joystick or which button you push or whatever sort of thing. It's kind of like that. It's like, we control your fate. No matter what you do, we've got you. Anyways. Pardon me. Arizona is sending National Guard to Kenosha. Wow. Jeff, what's with all the 7-7 numbers about lately? I don't know, Rob. I haven't seen too many, but I've seen a lot of 33s. Actually, yeah, I've seen 77s. The 777 is, this is Dabu 777. Well, he doesn't say that. He says, this is Dabu 7. Eyes to the skies. I miss Dabu. I hope he's doing well. Shout out to you, Dabu. Where are we here? Thanks to the new mic, her voice sound more sexier. Hey, man, back off. Love you. Love you too. Hey, thank you. The entire game is just a roundabout torture device. That's what the game, yeah, that's what you guys seen the movie though. It's actually quite good. And it's got Emily Blunt, so it's worth seeing for that. But it's the video game movie with Tom Cruise. Is it The Edge of Tomorrow? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. And it's a really cool sci-fi concept video game style movie where the character Tom Cruise is this weak-kneed sort of military guy who gets chosen to lead the first offensive against this alien invasion, and he gets sprayed by this jelly that makes him, he dies, but he keeps coming back to life at the same point in time. So it's just like a video game where he keeps starting over and over again sort of thing, and he keeps dying. It's actually a really cool film, I gotta say. I think it's called The Edge of Tomorrow. But yeah, you might want to check that one out. Bantam Books made Choose Your Own Adventure. I wonder who runs that. If you want to sign your name in blood, turn to page 33. Yeah. Dabu, is he on D Live right now? This is Dabu 7. Jeff, you miss having tons of subs? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think about it. I guess if there was like 2 people watching, I'd probably be like, yeah, it's nice to have subs. I'm not like a sub guy. I've lost so many channels that, you just kind of roll with the punches. There's an Oregon Trail movie. Is there? Oh my God. Then we could take Faceless, and then we can just do the Clockwork Orange thing where we stick him in the theater and we just play this movie on a loop forever, and we hold his eyeballs open, his eyelids. And we could put the drops. You have somebody there putting the drops, or you can get a drone or something to put the drops to keep the eyes moist. And we just keep playing the movie over and over again. And then if you want a break, and they'll say, okay, we'll give you a break, and then they'll chain you to a computer, and you'll have to play the game. That'll be your break. I want to go back in the movie theater. Edge with Emily, yeah. Was Googling eye implants looks painful. Yeah, if you've seen the movie. It seems so silly now, too. Minority Report, it's like he has to change his eyeballs because he can be identified with his eyeballs. But and the movie kind of takes place, I guess around now, or in the I think it's 2030 or something like that. So like 10 years. But you think, well, it's got like facial recognition. Like, I mean, it kind of makes the eyeball thing a little bit silly because they don't even use really your eyes. It's more like the space between your eyes that they use to identify your face, by the way. Just in case you're wondering. Edge of Tom Cruise. The edge of Scientology. Imagine what goes on in Tom Cruise's brain. Imagine the madness that is up there. He died more than 300 times. Yeah. He wakes up every time, and he's still Tom Cruise. Yeah. He's like, I'm still a shitty movie actor. I'm still a Scientologist. Damn, can't I wake up as something else? Dabu was going nuts on a stream tonight. Yeah, good for Dabu. We used to do a lot of shows together back in the day. Imagine hell is like Edge of Tomorrow scenario. Maybe it already is. Maybe you don't even realize you just keep living the same. It's Groundhog Day. It seems like it's a new day, but it's always the same day. And then someday you're like, oh my God, I've seen this before. I could swear I played this game before. But video games are like that. Like video games, literally, that's what a video game is. Like that's why the movie is a metaphor for video games, because video games, that's what you do in a video game. Almost all video games are like that, where you just keep dying and you keep coming back. Except you don't really die in a painful way. You just kind of, your avatar dies and it's like, okay, no big deal. And then you come back. But yeah, the fact that they really die and it's really painful, and it's like, in the movie, he dies in all these different ways because he keeps trying to get further, because he's trying to unravel the mystery. He's trying to get into Emily Blunt's pants. Let's be honest, and he keeps trying to get further, and he gets killed over and over and over again, and in the battle, it's like anyways, I'm gonna give it away. Jeff, is there any unrest protests with violence going on right now in Canada? There's always, Montreal never stops. Protest against police violence is like, as Montreal is as frickin' poutine and strip clubs, and trannies on St. Catharines. Yeah, no, there's this city here is bad. They love violence and rioting and everything. God forbid we win a Stanley Cup, they'll burn the whole city down. So they did in '93. So, how do we hear you play music? It's only certain tier on Patreon. What other hobbies do you have apart from walking or hiking? Well, I'm gonna play a lot more music in the future, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, you're gonna hear a lot more. If I'm gonna have a Patreon sort of thing where if you're of a certain tier, you get all the music for free, and I might in the future do performances for folks. I would like to do that actually, so I'll see about it. But yeah, I play all kinds of instruments, and yeah, I love that. That's my passion in life, sort of thing. So we'll definitely, there's gonna be a lot more coming in the future with that. Imagine hell is a place where Murder Me Senpai is an all red room playing on a single screen on full blast. I almost wanted to, like, back in 2015 when I first covered that, I was like, okay, I gotta kind of get this game to play through it. But then, like, when I was covering it, was so utterly disturbing, the game. It's like oh my God. Like, it's got to be one of the most twisted, awful NWO mind control pedophilia. Well, I wouldn't say pedophilia. It's more like hebophilia or whatever. It's like, or it's like the inverse of it, where it's like little Japanese school. What's not little Jap? It's like high school Japanese schoolgirls that become obsessed with an older sort of senpai, and then they never get the senpai. So what they end up doing, well, first they have to use all these tactics to get the senpai, which they have to manipulate, they have to gossip, they have to, like, you know, do all these nasty things against other people. And then if they never get the senpai, so that what they have to do is they have to kill everybody, and then they have to kill the senpai. And when they kill the senpai, they get to take the senpai around with them, like Weekend at Bernie's sort of thing. I mean, it's like, who comes up with a game like that? Well, NWO, you know, and it's Japan, and it's actually kind of like the Battle Royale theme in a way. It's like, I'm sure it's definitely part of that sort of insanity. These games, holy cow. Anyways, people going on about Dabu. I think Tom Cruise and John Travolta are the only Scientologists left. Yeah. The Scientology is so bizarre too. L. Ron Hubbard went to the cupboard. L. Ron Hubbard. You ever read L. Ron Hubbard? I read Battlefield Earth. Of all books. I never saw the movie, too. With, was it John Travolta was in the movie? And it's like one of the worst movies of all time. But I read the book. And it was like this big, freaking, highly, you know, New York Times bestseller. Or whatever. I don't know. It's like, it was pretty bad, actually. I honestly, the only cool concept that he had in the book was that the aliens had this numeric system that was all based on 11s instead of like the 10 sort of decimal system that we have and all that, and that the aliens were much bigger than the humans and they enslaved the humans and stuff like that. But yeah, apparently it's one of the worst movies ever made. John Travolta. But that's interesting because, yeah, John Travolta, that's who invented. There's a movie called The Master. I want to watch that again. But that's kind of like a Citizen Kane style depiction, where it's not technically L. Ron Hubbard, but it is. It's Scientology. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman who plays the L. Ron Hubbard character in that. So, and his fascination or his study is played by the Joker there, Joaquin Phoenix, and yeah, that's a bizarre film for sure. I think it's the same guy that did Magnolia and all those films. Anyways, John Travolta and Tom Cruise are the only straight men in Hollywood. That's why, yeah, they all get. Love Supreme Lord music, unique and easy listening. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. I got gazillions of pieces. So many that you can't even imagine. But, yeah, I'll be putting a lot of that stuff up because, yeah, that's a lot of what I've got. Like, I've done a lot of songs on the New World Order. So a lot of guitar, a lot of piano, a lot of everything, electronic music, and all these things. So yeah, so much to come. I'm always working on music, like nonstop. So L. Ron Hubbard once said, if you make tons of money, create a religion. So he did. Yeah, I guess so, because then you have a cult, and he's the cult of personality. That's the kind of character. L. Ron Hubbard. Used to play in a band. Oh, nice, Tim. That's great to hear. There's a military base in Washington State with a cult right outside it, all in the wild. At night, you can see lots of glow in the darks. Has anyone heard of Lucille Bogan? Nope. Not me. It's just me responding. Maybe other people have. Did you see the TV show that they are making about the 2016 election interference? It's called The Comey Rule. I saw the title. I didn't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they always do this, right? It's like, here's your mind control. Remember the Russians? There's a lot of Russians in the truth movement, though. There sure is. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, unless they're KGB. Hey KGB, I got nothing against you. Paul Thomas Anderson, that's right, Magnolia. There will be blood. There Will Be Blood is very interesting. That is very, very interesting because they pit the white sort of imperialist against the religious sort of zealot in that film. The excellent performances. The two leads in it are just bang on. Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't know who the guy that plays the Christian preacher guy, but that is a really cool film. And there's a lot of subtle undertones about what they try. I think they're like basically talking about the hypocrisy of both the industrialists, right? The white sort of privileged, as they would say, and then the religious sort of zealot, or zealot's not the right term, but the Jim Baker type of propagandist or proselytizer sort of thing, right? The Jim Baker / kind of like what you saw tonight with what's his name there, who preaches the Al Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson, these types of charlatans that are, that they have a cult of personality, much like L. Ron Hubbard, for instance, as we mentioned before. Cult of personality, Jim Baker, Tammy Faye Baker. There's a whole bunch of them, of course. They really became huge in the 80s, I think, the 70s, 80s, 90s, when that type of religious programming was heavy on the cable networks, and you would have these characters that would be a cult of personality and suck these people in, sort of thing, and then get all their money, basically, because that's their objective. Like, their objective is to get you addicted to their cult of personality and then suck all your money out of you, sort of thing. But yeah, I do think, although I think Magnolia I have to watch again because I think that's pretty creepy. I think Paul Thomas Anderson, didn't he, Faceless would know this, wasn't he the guy that did the Pie movie as well? Is that him? The Jewish gematria, the Word of God that they're trying to discover, and they discover the Word of God is a number, and the number is the key to understanding the stock market, and that they're able to predict what the stock market does by obtaining the Word of God, and the Word of God is like a combination of numbers and stuff like that, or whatever. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. Thank you, Paceless. I appreciate that. Did you hear Bill Gates planning to build hundreds of small nuclear power plants around the world? The company is called TerraPower. No, I haven't. Damn. Is there nothing that Bill Gates isn't going to destroy?
If we can build these power plants, and they're much smaller, so if there is a catastrophe, it's not going to be at the same level as, say, Fukushima or even Chernobyl, but we can build these in all these small communities in places like Africa. And while we're vaccinating all the citizens and putting the facial recognition and, all the detection into our software,
Bill Gates. I have to move my arms when I do that, though. I ate some THC gummy bears and watched Trump's speech. Never again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I looked up Canadians love ketchup, potatoes. That's from Quebec. That's from here. In fact, Quebec. I know I used to pass it all the time, which was they had the Humpty Dumpty, which was a potato brand chip. You probably never heard of it, but it was from Quebec. It was very popular here. And they made the ketchup potato chips. And if you ever had ketchup potato chips, they're like really ketchupy. Not in a liquid sense, but they got the powdered ketchup sort of taste to them. And yeah, you know, they can be. I mean, when you're drinking alcohol, you're smoking tubes. I mean, this stuff goes down pretty easy, right? Even though it's really bad for you. But yeah, the Quebec was where the ketchup chips come from, and Quebecers love their ketchup, just like they love their Pepsi. Because Pepsi came in here, and Coke kind of neglected the market of French Canada, and Pepsi came in and said, "Say Pepsi, say Pepsi, ça va." You know, that Pepsi, you know, alors, you know. So they used the whole campaign. So Quebecers got these weird things that they're into. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of poutine, by the way. Anybody ask me about that, I probably eat like one a year kind of poutine. I never feel good. It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, I guess I could eat that right now. If you don't know what poutine is, it's purely Quebecois, and they take French fries and they put cheese curds on it, and then they put chicken gravy. That's the original way of making it, right? So you the chicken gravy, you know, the cheese curds that are sit out in the shelf, the thing. They kind of like feel like rubber if you touch them. And then we put the chicken gravy on top, and it melts the cheese curds into the French fries, and then you eat the fry. That's what poutine is. And then now it's like 8 billion different things, but it's from Quebec. It's one of those Quebecois. Maitre chez nous. Jeff, the movie is Pi. Yeah, the number is 2016-666. Yeah, there you go. I didn't like that movie. Conspiracy theorists believe nuclear reactors are potentially unsafe. Yeah, media matters. Is it Brock? What's his name? Is it Brock something? David Brock. The former boyfriend, the former cocksucker of James Alefantis from Comet Ping Pong. Yeah, media matters. MM33, of course. Yeah. I know Lay's used that aborted crap flavor. Yeah. Ketchup potato chips. That's it. I hope Quebec gets the... Yeah, that's it. Now Quebec deserves not only the Bill Gates nuclear reactors, but the Bill Gates mosquitoes, the Bill Gates quantum dot tattoos. And what is there anything that Bill Gates is not behind? It just blows me away when I'm doing the shows. When I'm doing the shows with Kamel, and it's like, is Bill Gates behind? Oh, of course, always Bill Gates. Good night, Dawn. I don't drink or smoke. Are you boring? Just kidding. Good for you, Dawn. Dude, I tried. I need to watch the movie Pi again. It's been a minute. Yeah, the Max dude starts talking about the Jews and the 2016 number. The guy that wrote the film definitely has some inside info. Darren Aronofsky. Yep. I can tolerate everything else, but the straw that broke the camel's back was the ketchup potato chips. Poutine is from Quebec. Yep. Yeah. Quebec is known for a few things. Poutine. Maple syrup, the Montreal Canadiens. I don't know. Yeah, Quebec is kind of cool though. French people are really cool. You gotta say, the best city by far. There's not even remotely any city even anywhere near as good as Montreal. The only one that could come close is Quebec, but it's much smaller. But yeah, Montreal and Quebec City are by far the best cities. St. John's. Newfoundland's another good one. And then I'm like thinking, there's got to be another good city in Canada. There's got to be another one. Silence. Edmonton? Anyways, cities suck. So you got to get away from them. Did you see the guy or the gut who played the Black Panther guy? Yeah. Matthew, I did cover that. Did he play the gut or the gut? He played the gut. I played the gut in this film. I know it's a typo. The ball and a lot of energy is being directed. I have not heard of those. I want to watch pie while eating a big pie and then eat pigs in a blanket while in a blanket. Then I could wear a small hat. I don't know, if you wear a small hat, you might enjoy pie better. I don't know. It's one of those films. It's like, what's going on here? What? God number, stock market, a bunch of, yeah. What are you gonna say? You can't talk about people. You're not talking about. That's all I could say. Nuclear reactors have a slight problem. The radioactive waste has to be stored. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's not only that. It's not just the radioactive waste, but it's the reactors themselves, right? Because the reactors, look, there's a meltdown still going on. There's two. I mean, there's Chernobyl, and they have the sarcophagus that they built has to be replaced because it's still in a full meltdown. And then there's the Fukushima, which is even worse, and they're still dealing with that crap, and they will be for the next 100,000 years for the isotopes or the half-life of the radioactive isotopes that would be in the atmosphere as a result of the nuclear meltdown. So yeah, no way am I a fan. I think nuclear energy is a horrible idea. That's it. Just because, yeah, it's nice if it works, but when something goes wrong, it's just the worst thing ever. So yeah, that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. I'm sorry. You know what? I mean, what's the big deal too? I mean, like, really? I mean, what is all the power for? Like, think of what people are powering. Like, yeah, we're powering this show, right? But you could power this show with solar power, right? For instance, like a laptop and a freaking solar panel should do the job. But then you think, what is power? What is most power? Well, here in Montreal or in Quebec, the winter is cold, so we have to heat our home. So that's where a lot of the power goes. But really, a heat stove would be much more efficient because of how good it is at distributing heat and stuff like that. Whereas electrical is very expensive, although it's cheaper here than most places, but it's still expensive. But yeah, I mean, I think, like, I wouldn't be against going back to candlelight or like the Amish way. You know, I wouldn't have a problem living like that. I would not have a problem as long as I had freaking guitar and a piano, maybe a set of drums, ukulele, a mandolin, just a bunch of instruments. I'd be fine. I'd be freaking fine. But I think that we tend to look at like, oh yeah, this is so civil, like somehow energy equals civilization. It's like, no, not quite. In fact, it's interesting. The movie Mosquito Coast, which is what's his name? Paul Theroux. I said Justin Theroux. Paul Theroux, the author. If you know the author or read the book there. But they made a film with Harrison Ford. In fact, it's Harrison Ford's favorite movie that he's ever been in. It's probably his best movie. And he leaves society because he hates it, like America, right? Look at us, all trash. Look at that. He's driving with his son, who's River Phoenix, by the way. And they establish a new civilization out in the middle of the Central America, somewhere in the jungle. And his whole thing is civilization is ice. Ice gives civilization, right? Cool, like the ability to control the temperature, like air conditioning. Just ice in your drinks, or being able to keep food cold. Like there's a lot of it does make sense. In fact, if you want to know the main reason why people live longer than they've ever lived, or at least in the 20th century and up until recently, is because of refrigeration, right? It's refrigeration that actually really is the major game changer, because most people would die of food-related illnesses and stuff like that, right? Eating bad meat and spoiled vegetables and stuff like that. And they've largely eliminated that. But, yeah, anyways, where am I? I wonder when the U.S. government will start arresting USS Liberty survivors for being racist. Yeah, seriously. gotta get those people. A lot of suburbs here in Melbourne had no power for 24 hours. It was not so bad. I had a lot of candles. It was cold though. Yeah, you're in the winter. Well, you've been going through the winter there. See, like here, if we lose power and we don't have a fireplace, we're kind of screwed, right? Because, I mean, it goes down minus 20, minus 30 sometimes throughout the winter. That's freaking cold. And that's Celsius, so I don't know what that works out for Americans, but that's very cold. And you could die with that. I mean, you're probably not going to die if you're inside, because you can, like, you know, body heat and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable. Let's just say that. It's like the extreme heat too, right? Like extreme heat is uncomfortable as well. But you think about a lot of countries where, come on, seriously? It's like in the Caribbean, for instance, or in Central America, you have so much sunlight, right? You have more sunlight than anywhere else pretty much, because that's the whole thing about being in the tropics, right? You get much more sun. So your days are really long than other parts of the world. So you don't need to power all these lights and all these things, right? And it's warm most of the year. Almost in most of these places, it's warm all year round, sort of thing, if you're in the tropics. So you don't really need all that energy. What would you need it for? Well, to cool your drinks, okay. Air conditioning, yeah, but you can live without air conditioning, right? Cool breeze and, you know, maybe a fan or something like that. So yeah, it's like, I think a lot of what they say with electricity is just, hey, we got to make sure the people get their mind control. Because it's more about, we got to make sure they're watching their televisions, right? They're hooked up to their devices. It's not about, oh my gosh. Because, like, you know this, eh? If you've been through blackouts, right? You know that what happens in a blackout, if you're in a family, you know, you'll bring out the old kettle and you make some hot chocolate or something right off the stove or the fireplace or whatever, and you'll maybe bring out some board games, and then all of a sudden people are not distracted by all the things that they would normally be distracted, and the family kind of comes together and people come together, right? We had the ice storm here in, I think it was 97 or something in Quebec, where the power went out in Montreal for a lot of places about a week or so. And in some parts of Quebec, it was out for 2 months. Now in Quebec, as I said, in the wintertime, that's a different story because the temperatures. But it wasn't so bad. In fact, it brought a lot of people together, and it also kind of reminded. But one of the things they did here is they banned fireplaces. You're not allowed to have a fire in Montreal. So the coldest city in the world, over 1 million people, is Montreal. You're not allowed to have a fireplace. I mean, you can't have a fire. You're not allowed. Like, it's against the law. United Nations, right? It's sustainable development. They're gonna ban. I guarantee you by 2030 you won't be able to have a campfire. Like, I guarantee you. It's so evil too, because there's nothing. Like, one thing you can say about fire too is, fire is civilization. Like, if you really want to say what is civilization, it'd be fire, more than anything. Because fire, in so many ways, is the game changer for humans, right? Once humans discovered fire, predators now are easy to deal with. It's easier to see things in the dark because that's where all the threats are, right? When you can't see things. It's easier to eat and feed yourself, keep yourself warm, all these different things, right? So fire really is civilization in many ways. Paradoxically in some ways, but fire is the biggest game changer. So yeah, it's an interesting sort of thing. Anyway, what am I going on? Now I'm thinking of Quest for Fire. They're trying to make the fire and stuff. You ever want to see a hilarious movie? Check out Quest for Fire. It's actually quite good. It's a cool idea, but they banned fireplaces in Cali too. Yep, exactly. I'm not surprised. Sudbury gets to minus 45. Yep. Yeah. It gets cold. Here it gets pretty damn cold. We can get to minus. I'll tell you this. I've been on Mount Tremblant skiing when it was like minus 65. That's the coldest I've ever been in. They shut down the mountain too. I remember we were all in the big freaking cabin up on the mountaintop because they have this beautiful old freaking lodge up there, and they had to this huge fire going, right? And everybody was kind of like circled around it, sort of thing. And yeah, it was so cold, it was ridiculous. But yeah, even with that coldness, it was like, it's not so bad if you're dressed well, you know. That's the thing about the cold, though. It's, you got to be dressed well. And like if you're doing exercise, you have to dress in layers. So like cross country skiing, you sweat a lot. So the cold, it's not the cold that affect. It's weird. Like in Quebec in the wintertime, like say you're cross country skiing, that's why you dress in layers, because if you dress super warm and you go out and you start doing like if you don't know this, cross country skiing is kind of equivalent to swimming in terms of how much exercise, because every muscle in the body's being used. It's very, very physical. So you sweat like crazy. So you become hot when you're doing it. Doesn't matter how cold it is, you still build up a sweat. So you have to peel off the layers so that you don't get hypothermia, sort of thing, because you'll just start to get really hot and sweaty, and then all of a sudden, if you stop, it'll get cold really quick, and you'll start to freeze, and you get hypothermia and stuff like that. So. Wow. Anyways, what's going on here? Speaking of fire, I can't wait for a new Beavis and Butthead. There was that was during the big ice storm. Well, I missed the earlier part you said there. Obama also banned pilot light propane cooking stoves. Yeah, it's just evil. That's all just distractions on your freedom, because that's how you free yourself, right? Like I honestly, if I had like a lot of firewood, or I had unlimited sort of firewood, I wouldn't really need electricity to, like, other than doing the work that I do, sort of thing. But like, you can hunt and you could heat your home. You're good, right? You're good. You don't need this crap. So I think a lot of like, the whole, people losing their power. I think you got to get used to that, because that's what they're going to do to us if they have one of their EMPs go off. Or sir, excuse me. Yeah. Anyways, I think it's 2:00 in the morning here, so I'm going to close. It's almost 2:00. I'm going to close her up. And yeah, I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning into the show tonight. I am beyond blessed to have such wonderful people listening to this show, such a terrific community of people who are funny and clever and very, intelligent. And it's always a real treat. I always look forward to this. Like, I was really looking forward to this all week. I was like, yeah, Friday's going to be fun. Friday for fun, sort of thing. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show and enjoyed the discussion. And if you do, come and support me if you can. Patreon's in the description. That really means a lot to me. I'm going to do a Patreon show next Tuesday or something. I'm not sure. But I'll announce that over the weekend. So I'll give you guys time to make arrangements if you want to be on the show. Just sign up for my Patreon below and come and check it out. It's great. Really looking forward to that. I'll do maybe a couple smaller videos over the weekend. It depends on what happens. Obviously, I'm keeping a close eye on everything. So if something big happens, I'll be there to get on it, but I do have a lot of things to do, so but I will put up some stuff over the weekend. Also on my BitChute, I've been pretty active. I even put up a couple older Free Radio Revolution videos there, so you might want to go check that out. And if things go down here, like if I lose Jeff Censored or I lose all my channels, say for instance, I mean, the Jeff C Live might stick around. I don't know, but it behooves all of you, if you do like this show and the community and all that, to just sub the other channels. There's only 4 in total: Jeff Censored, Encore, Supreme Lord Commander, and Jeff C Live. And then there's New World Agenda on BitChute, and those are basically the whole where I am. So if you can, just sub those channels. And then, if things go down, because it's like today, maybe I got about a half or a third of the people that would normally listen, because a lot of people don't sub the backups. I mean, I got like 10,000 whatever subs on this channel. and you'd like that everybody just subbed all your backups when they sub your channel. It'd be nice. Imagine YouTube actually did that for you. Of course they wouldn't, but imagine that somebody sub your channel and that would automatically get them subbed to your other channels. But yeah, that would, it is what it is. But I'm hoping, that I'll be able to keep Jeff Censored and get back on there, in a couple weeks sort of thing. But for now, it's always good to have backups. And we've been down this road so many times. This is old school. So anyways, it's been terrific. I really enjoyed the show tonight. Felt really good doing it. And yeah, you guys are the best. So anyways, I'll see you guys all on the next one, obviously. I will be live back on, hopefully, Monday Madness. And possibly over the weekend, but more likely just some short videos sort of thing. So anyways, much love to you all. I'll let you go here. I'm going to play out my outro here, give you guys some time if you're still doing your conversations to finish up and, say goodnight to each other. And yeah, I'll be back. All right, guys, take it easy.
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order can emerge, a new era, freer from the threat of terror, stronger in the pursuit of justice, and more secure in the quest for peace. An era in which the nations of the world, east and west, north and south, can prosper and live in harmony. 100 generations have searched for this elusive path to peace, while 1,000 wars raged across the span of human endeavor. And today that new world is struggling to be born. A world quite different from the one we've known. A world where the rule of law supplants the rule of the jungle. A world in which nations recognize the shared responsibility for freedom and justice.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, and we will be, and we will be, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order. An order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law. Such is a world worthy of our struggle and worthy of our children's future. And now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order. A world where the United Nations, freed from Cold War stalemate, is poised to fulfill the historic vision of its founders. And that's why I wanted to speak to you today about the new world taking shape around us, about the prospects for a new world order, for a new world order, for a new world order now within our reach.
Time and time again about a new world order. And this is the best chance to begin to establish the new world order. And that's why the stakes are so high.
And after 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order. We needed a new world order. We needed a new world order.
Now, much has been said by the Secretary of State and others about a new world order, about a defining moment in history. And how negative or positive it will be will depend on what kind of new world order we really create. Can it really be said that this is a true New World Order when it lacks a true United Nations collective security effort?
Tim, what do you think America's place in the New World Order should be?
No, I think this would be the time, because you really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order.
There's a need for a new world order.
Henry Kissinger pointed out in his superb book on diplomacy. He said, "None of the most important countries which must build a new world order have had any experience with the multi-state system that is emerging. Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions or on so global a scale."
As I've told you before, because I love it so much, they also created the Great Seal of the United States. And that Great Seal of the United States has on it, Novus Order Seclorum, a new order for the centuries, for the ages, forever, 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 forever.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order, a new world order, a new world order.
The transatlantic partnership was never just the foundation of our security. It was the foundation of our way of life. It was forged an experience of the most bitter and anguished kind. Out of it came a new Europe, a new world order, a new world order, a new world order, a new world order.
Commander told me that they were not sure they would be able to contain the fire. I said, you know, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.